somewhere in the paperwork, but yes.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. Long time no see. Haven't seen you in about 5-6 seconds. I don't know what's going on. I've just got here. It appears they're doing some motion stuff or doing something before the jury comes in. The prosecution just mentioned that they're expecting 5 to 7 days to wrap up their case.
To provide to the court or to the state. I did look at a number of subpoenas. I told for completeness. And the one thing I noted was that there was a date and time for the appearance that was not included.
Well, let's catch up live here.
And not necessarily your.
Greatly appreciated.
All right, so Madam Clerk is directed to put in the date at the top left. And then what I'll do is I'll keep a copy for the court's records.
Yes, he's wearing his suit today.
I give you a copy, and then we'll give the originals to the state so they can look over.
Yeah, I guess we can take off the maritime hat today.
Issue with trying to get them served, but I need to get that to them this morning with your approval so they can let us know if there are any issues. Do you agree to that, sir?
Yeah, I just got to put the dates in again, correct?
Yes, yes. It would be fine if you did Friday morning. I mean, even if the state got done a little bit early on Thursday.
Okay, so he has deferred his opening statements until after the prosecution rests their case in chief.
It's clear.
So after they rest that, then he's going to give his opening statements. He hasn't given his opening statements yet. He's wearing a nice suit. Sleeves are a bit long, but hey.
And then just let me know when you're done so I can address a couple of other issues.
Thank goodness you're streaming. I was looking forward to this. I didn't know I was streaming until 3.5 minutes ago. So here I am. And wait, I got a super chat here. Was that from you? Yeah, it was from you. Flux says, boozy bucks. We got some boozy bucks. Thank you so much. Again, same rules apply. I'm going to be talking as little as possible, just making my hopefully witty comments here and there. I'll get the mic volume adjusted here in just a second. Literally, this was on the fly. I got nothing going on. I have no backstage setup, no mic settings done. We'll get there eventually. But hey, like this anyway. I answered the call of the people. Is it just me, or does it look like the high-profile trials are getting assigned to the most photogenic judges recently? I ain't got no problem with that. I'll judge easy on the eyes. There. All right. Well, we brought the microphone down. That's good. I also can confirm I'm in Wisconsin. So is this the trend now? We're just like not doing Columbus Day anymore because of wokeness? Go ahead. Lose a holiday because you want to be woke. I'll be as unwoke as you can possibly imagine if I can get a holiday out of it. Jillian N says, thank you for responding to market forces. Well, if we're talking market forces, y'all better make this worth my while. Y'all better send in them super chats. I don't care if you do or not. Just, you know.
I can look at.
Columbus Day was legally changed to Indigenous Peoples Day here in Vermont like 3 years ago. Ugh. Okay. Why not just make a separate Indigenous Peoples holiday? Then you get 2 bank holidays. Fondlin, I rarely chat because I'm a trucker, but I don't miss any of your shows. Keep up the good work. Oh, and see, that's kind of, my father was a trucker, and that's how he got through life, was AM radio, and that's why I was always attracted to AM radio when I was young. Yeah, Art Bell. That's kind of who I modeled myself after. And he was king of the AM airwaves from midnight to 6.
If you tell me the number, I can also.
Getting handsy. Appreciate you taking one for the team today. I can do the morning up to lunchtime. So I hope they get through this and actually get into some of the testimony before lunchtime. So yeah, I still have some work to do after this. That's why I was kind of trying to end early. so I could do some work. But hey, whatever.
Make the copy.
I'm gonna let this play for a bit. I still have to set up all of my background stuff here. So and his mask matches his shirt and his tie. Looking dapper there, Mr.
Madam
Murderer.
Clerk is copying those subpoenas so that the court has a copy, Mr. Brooks has a copy, and then the originals go to the state to review and assist with service. I do want to address.
She can service my subpoena any
Exhibit
day.
6, which was previously received by the court. This is the 6-minute squad cam and audio footage from Officer Phillips. As I advised last week, after I went back into chambers to review that, I did.
She can
note
back into my
Mr.
chambers
Brooks
anytime.
had
Never,
said,
sorry, shut up, Jeff.
I may have been a little bit off on the language in terms of what Ms. Patterson is heard saying, but it's a.
Nick is not
brief
streaming this on
reference
Rumble
to,
because he's helping the missus
one
this
of the
morning,
incidents
and he will be on
that is
Alex
the subject
Jones
of a prohibition by
Infowars
this
at
court
1 p.m.
related
Central.
to other acts.
That's why I'm doing this,
I
because he's
indicated
not.
I was inclined to strike that exhibit and so advise the jury, but I would give the parties an opportunity if they had any arguments on that to address that this morning. So since the state offered it and there is that violation, I'll turn to the state.
Thank you, Your Honor. First, I do offer my apologies to the court and to Mr. Brooks because the previous occasions where we had watched that video, we did not catch that. I think the record will speak for itself, but there was a lot going on in that video. As you had mentioned previously, the officer's radio was talking. You can hear the dispatcher, you can hear other officers, and you can hear some people talking in the distance as well. So we did mistakenly include that. However, that being said, Your Honor,
Your Honor.
I think it's a clear reference to the other acts only if you know there's other acts. Truthfully, I think it's a vague and ambiguous statement. What I heard the statement to have been at about the 2:52 mark in the recording, I heard Miss Patterson say, "Me and my baby daddy, we fight all the time. We had an incident. He ran me over with a car."
Jesus.
That's what I heard her to say. She does not say it happened in Milwaukee. She does not say it happened 3 weeks ago. She does not say I suffered a broken leg. To me, in the context of Miss Runkle's testimony last week, in which she testified that Mr. Brooks had swerved at Erica Patterson, and that Miss Runkle had pulled her out of the way.
He likes
I don't
running
think
people
The
over.
jury would have immediately thought Erica Patterson, when she made that statement, if they heard it, was referring to something weeks earlier in another county at another location. Really, the only thing objectionable about
Well,
that
you're here, so I guess you found it.
whole quote I just issued would be the very last phrase, "He ran me over with a car." And again, if she's referring to the Milwaukee incident, it's not clear from that statement. I certainly understand with the knowledge of the Milwaukee incident, there's a reasonable interpretation that's what she was talking about, but she may also have been talking about the events of November 21st, even to an objective standard on this record, Your Honor. I don't think the jury would have realized or appreciated she was talking about another incident. So I think
It's almost Rittenhouse lawyer level of Wisconsin.
About a
accent.
2 or 3 second
Your Honor.
audio from that recording where those words are removed. And I listened to it several times over the weekend. I think if we did that, it would not be that obvious so that the exhibit could stand in place. The officer, if you recall, the timing is he's getting out of his car and he's approaching them, and she makes that statement about he ran me over with a car. But then her very next sentence is, there's nothing happened, nothing's going on, nothing to be worried about here. And she's essentially trying to convince the officer not to do anything. So again, I think that also supports our contention that if we strike the exhibit or we strike words from the exhibit, we may be calling undue attention to something that was very vanilla to this jury that they really.
How dare you say
wouldn't have
vanilla
thought
to a
twice
black
about,
man? That's
given
racist.
the testimony of Corey Runkle and Erica Patterson that was already on the record. So we would offer to redact that portion if appropriate, but it may also be appropriate just to leave it stand as is. And should they ever ask to see that exhibit again, we would prevent that from being played a second time.
Thank you. Mr. Brooks, do you have a position on this?
She's looking extra hot today.
It's obvious to me. I can only hear out of one ear, and I was able to hear clearly what was said. With all due respect, Your Honor, you made a ruling about this previously, in ample enough time before the trial even started. You made the ruling. I see no reason why the exhibit should be admitted into evidence. From my perspective, it's clearly obvious what was being referenced.
Yes, I meant the judge.
If she was able to give any type of statement at that time to the officer, then obviously she wasn't hit at that time on that date on the 21st.
He can only hear out of one ear. He has two ears.
Referencing some other incident. Hence the reason why we argue all the time in this, that, and the third. It was clear to me what was being referenced, and because of the ruling, because of the implication in that statement, I believe the exhibit should be striked altogether.
He's talking intelligently today, and he's wearing a suit.
Mr. Brooks, and the reason why last week I said I'm inclined to strike it, but I wanted to give the parties an opportunity to review it over the weekend is in some respects because of what the state just said. There's information on that clip, at least from Ms. Patterson, that I didn't know if you wanted to come in or not, about nothing happened here, right? Those types of statements. So that's why I give the parties a chance to look it over and then come back to court and tell me what they want to do. So your position has been made clear. You believe it should be struck or stricken, as we say.
He's got the suit power up. Yeah, he's got the +3 intelligence suit.
Prior ruling related to other acts, and the state had an obligation to abide by that ruling. While I have options available to me, meaning I could redact it if the jury wants to hear it later on, my concern with redaction is it may possibly highlight that portion. We don't know whether
he's waived his right
jurors
to
heard
legal
it and
assistance.
made a note
The only way he
about
can
it.
get it is if he's
And that's
declared
certainly not something
incompetent
I'm going to
and
ask them
it's assigned to him.
reveal. And because of the violation, and even though there's other things going on, even though I could redact, I am going to strike this exhibit, and so advise the jury.
Score one
As far
for
as advising the
score
jury,
one
I
for
simply
Brooks.
want to tell them the following when they come into court today. Is previously the court received Exhibit 6 during the testimony of Officer Phillips. The jury is hereby advised that the court has stricken this exhibit.
Whoa.
And the jury is to disregard
the
anything it may
entire
have heard
exhibit.
regarding. What
I
was
don't know
on
what.
that
Apparently, it was a video
exhibit.
of his
Any objection to that language
woman
from the state?
talking about
No.
being run over.
How about from you, Mr. Brooks?
Wow. She's simping. Don't say anything, Brooks. Brooks, you won. Shh. It was, people said that's not good. It's one video. It's one video. There's there's dozens of other videos that can probably very easily take its place, which is probably why the prosecution's not making a big deal about it.
All right, then.
The quartering looks pissed back there.
Last week, I also had indicated I had asked the sheriff's department to prepare an incident report regarding one of the
Yeah, it was the
occasions
right
Mr.
call.
Brooks was removed from the courtroom. I've been advised it's been dictated and I believe written. I haven't seen it yet, but I did follow up on that this morning. I believe I'll have it at some point today, and we'll turn that over to the parties.
To the 6th, Thursday, October the 6th.
That was in
Yes, it's
reference
trying to sort out whether he's guilty or not. He's pled not guilty.
the incident where.
So now the state has to prove
my memory
beyond a
is
reasonable
correct,
doubt
where
that he intentionally committed,
there was not about
intended
the
to
COVID
commit
test,
6
but
murders
about
and
the,
more than 60
um,
injuries.
needing you to sit down so that I don't remember if you were over there or here or what, but they needed to get those restraints either on or off so that you could be situated, and that's where you had indicated you had been hurt. So that's what I'm talking about. I wanted to have a record of that here.
I think that was the 6th. I also want to state for the record that I was given paperwork to fill out a report of my own, and I stressed that because after the detectives came and took the pictures of my bruises and injuries,
You have to show
I
the
was
best
told that
evidence, the
they
most
didn't know
complete
when I would actually
evidence, the
get
most closest to the
the
source. So you
actual
couldn't
filing
mute
of
the
the
video.
report.
They could have
If they
edited
were
the
gonna
last part out, but they
report-
didn't.
So I just went ahead and asked for my own. I filled that out. I don't know if it's been given to the right parties yet.
You're talking about the inmate complaint form to have the either the jail or the sheriff's department review that related to the use of force.
Yeah, it was.
This is the actual hearing. This is the actual
papers
trial.
from the sheriff.
The prosecution is in the middle of their case in
You
chief.
know that
This is
that's
just some
not my
morning
responsibility to
preliminary work before the
address
jury
what
comes in.
happened, other than how it impacts this trial, which is why I wanted to have a record. If there's anything you believe should be in the
Jeff is
record
not
from
on
you
Rumble yet.
regarding that, then
I'll get
you
it sorted
should,
out.
Turn that in.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I didn't have anything else on my list of things. I don't know if the state does or Mr. Brooks, so I will ask the state first. Things I don't know if the state does or Mr. Brooks, so I will ask the state first. If there's anything you believe I should address prior to the jury coming
Bring
back
the
up.
jury in.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh, God damn it.
I would ask that some of the witnesses that testified last week be released from their
Okay.
subpoenas, especially now that we have Mr. Brooks' witness list. Specifically, I'd be referring to Corey Runkle, Officer Phillips, Kyle Edwards, Holly Berg. I note on his list today, he does still have Erica Patterson and Detective Guth. At some point, we'd like to be heard about that.
Yeah.
We don't need to delay the jury at this point.
All right. Any
Good.
position on their request, Mr. Brooks?
I guess
No.
my objection to that would be Officer Phillips. That would be one that I would.
You
would
object
like
to
be
Officer
under
Phillips.
subpoena. Everybody
Okay.
else is.
He's talking really
That's the
intelligently
officer.
today.
Whose squad video I just struck. So you didn't have him in your subpoenas. So you'll need to, for now, I'll tell the state they can't release him. You'll need to fill out a subpoena, and I need to have that by the lunch hour today in order for him not to be released from the state subpoena.
And I definitely don't want Erica Patterson released from.
But you have her on your subpoena, so I understand
I
that.
just wanted that for the record.
All right, thank you. All right, then I will grant the request from the state as to Corey Runkle, Kyle Edwards, and Holly Berg. For now, Officer Phillips will remain under the state subpoena along with Erica Patterson and Detective Guth. We can take issues up with that either, maybe closer to the lunch hour or when we come back, or even at the end of the day. But I would like to bring the jury out. But of course, Mr. Brooks, I need to turn to you first and see if there's any issues you believe the court should address.
Very briefly, I just want to state this for the record that I would like to an apology from me in regards to my actions last week during the trial. I just want the court to understand it's very emotional right now, not only for just the whole situation of the trial, the families here that have to go through, everything that's going to be involved with the trial, but also my family as well and myself is very, very emotional. But not to excuse my actions, I should carry myself with better respect than that. I wasn't raised that way. And I owe you, Your Honor, and the court an apology. And I'm going to stand up as a man and tell the whole court and you, Your Honor, that I apologize to the bailiffs, that I apologize.
This ain't going to work, pal.
Like I said, that's not how I was raised. I come from a Christian background. My mother did not raise me that way.
Oh, just when you thought he was being smart.
To act out.
I just have dogs snoring. I'm going to actually move them out of the room.
And
hang on, I'll be right back.
Everybody to know that I apologize for my actions. And I'm going to try my best to, whatever happens, to everybody here. I just wanted y'all to know that.
Thank you, Mr. Brooks. I do appreciate that. Understandably so. This is an emotional experience, I think, for everyone involved. And I appreciate that you, upon reflection, have realized that courtesy and decorum are an important part of a court proceeding. I know that despite you being
the snoring pigs have been removed,
and not being an attorney, you certainly, you're clearly
Judge.
paying attention. You
Judge.
made some very salient points throughout the last few days.
Nobody cares.
I think
Move
you're settling
on.
in quite well, and we're going to keep this trial going. And
Nobody cares. Move
I
on,
know
Judge.
you said earlier, and I just want to make a record of this because it's really important that I do this, sir. You've mentioned repeatedly about your hearing. I know you don't have the headphones on now. We'll give them to you. Just based on what I've observed this morning and how you've responded to things that have been said, I think you're hearing us. But if we haven't made the headphones available, we got to make sure we do that every single day so that if you need them. But I do appreciate everything that you've said. And I know we have Detective Casey, who will bring up momentarily for your cross-examination, just so everyone is aware. It's my practice when there's a second day to also put the witness under oath again. So he'll at least be sitting up there when the jury comes in.
Don't do that. Don't be buffering. Well, while this is buffering, I suppose we'll clear some super chats. Thank you so much. Is it just me, or does it look like the high-profile trials are getting assigned? Oh, we already did that one. Yes, I agree, and I hope so. That would be awesome. We are still buffering over here. Let's hit a refresh and see what happens. Ooh, nope, don't want to reload this site. Want to reload the site behind it. All righty.
Just so everyone is aware, it's my practice when there's a second day to also put the witness under oath again. So he'll at least be sitting up there when the jury comes in.
All right. I think we need a different stream. Anybody got any suggestions? I don't know who. There was something someone was telling me the other day, TML something or other. Yeah, it's them. Channel 3000. If I just, no, wait, we're back. No, we're not. Yes, we are. So if I just search for channel 3000 on YouTube, it'll bring it up. Okay. Let's do that. All right. Let's drop out of this. And bring up the other one. But which one is it? Watch live. Okay. Nope, that'd be the wrong one. That'd be the one I just took out. All right. All right, they're bringing the officer back up on the stand. Well, I hope this. Yeah, TMJ4. I need to write that down. All right. All right. Well, the officer is going up to they're bringing in the jury and bringing the officer up to the stand. We'll just kind of clear a few of these super chats here again. Yeah, here you go, Jeff. Thank you so much. After Friday, we need to step up funding for the liver replacement. Hey, whatever you step, you're either going to be stepping up the funding for the drinking or for the liver replacement. Your choice. Isabel D, thank you so much. Hi, Vices. Thanks for streaming this today. Rackets has Lady Rackets in his docket. Love you, Vices. Oh, thank you. So deeply appreciated. This is what due process looks like in the U.S. floundering education system. I bet the founders never anticipated. This is exactly what the founders anticipated. If a government is seeking to take away your life or lock you up for the rest of it, the government, regardless of whether you are clearly guilty or innocent, has an absolute duty of giving you a fair trial and ensuring that your constitutional rights are absolutely protected and that you are adjudicated guilty on the basis of beyond a reasonable doubt evidence. This is exactly why we have these standards, is even if there's a psychotic killer that's clearly been caught in the act of doing it, they still have constitutional rights to be protected because you have constitutional rights that need to be protected. This is the same thing as long as we're comparing things to Nick. This is the same thing. Nick was innocent. The guilty people out there, they need to have their system looked at because it's going to happen to you someday too, whether you're innocent, and then boom, Nick goes through the proper stages, goes through the proper channels, and he gets released. So this is it. This is exactly why you don't need the trials for the innocent. You need the trials for the guilty. Well, I guess you know what I mean. You need to protect the rights of the guilty so that you can protect those same rights in the case of an innocent person. Here is the jury coming in. Let's see if do we have subtitles on this? Yes, we do. Got a couple of super chats here to clear again. American virus is freedom. Judge Delta Burke.
Everyone, please be seated.
Bet she used to be a
You
hottie.
can sit for a minute.
Delta Burke, nice Delta
We'll
Burke.
wait
blast.
till our jurors have their notes ready. And good
Phoenix Lord
morning,
Azerman, thanks
and
for
welcome
streaming
back.
this.
Hope
I
you
know court
all
is a
had
slog,
very
but I
nice
do find it
weekend.
interesting. You're welcome.
Previously, the court received Exhibit 6 during the testimony of Officer Phillips. The jury is hereby advised that the court has struck this exhibit. The jury is hereby advised to disregard anything it may have heard during the playing of Exhibit 6. With that, we have Detective Casey here for cross, as is my practice. When there's a second day, someone's on the witness stand, I am going to have him stand to be sworn in again by my clerk.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
Yes.
Thank you. Please be seated. And once again, for the record, state your first and last name.
Thomas Casey.
Thank you. Mr. Brooks, this is your opportunity to question him.
Good morning, Detective.
Oh dear, here we go. Cross-examination.
So, how long have you been in law enforcement?
25 years.
Since a long time.
Uh-oh.
I want to direct you to.
Do I think juries actually exclude
evening
evidence
of
in their minds that
November
has been excluded?
21st, 2021.
They should, but as the old saying
You stated
goes,
that you were
you
on
cannot
duty
unring a
that
bell. Once they've
afternoon,
heard it,
correct?
they've heard it.
Yes, sir.
Do you recall Any disturbances that afternoon?
Spent 2 years in prison. I disagree. Got
You
a
mean
raw
when you
deal.
drove through the
That's the
parade
point.
routes and-
That's why we need to ensure that trials are fair, ensure that all of the evidence is disclosed,
Try to narrow
ensure
down the
that
time frame so he can
all
answer
of
that
the
more
rights are
specifically.
protected so that
Roughly around the
people
time
don't
of
get raw deals.
maybe
I'm
4:30ish.
I'm saddened that happened to you.
Yes, I do.
Do you remember what you can recall?
Do you remember what you can recall? Great question.
Do I remember if I can recall?
Do you remember the
Exactly.
disturbance you recall?
Yes, I do.
Would you say what that is?
What?
What that was, rather?
I heard a horn beeping, and then a Ford Escape came through the parade route, and you drove past me and wouldn't stop, and you continued driving into the parade route.
Who is you?
Darrell Brooks,
Oh,
the
no.
defendant, seated at the table.
No.
Let the record reflect that I do not identify by that name, nor do I know anybody by that name.
Oh God. He went soft sit again.
So you heard a horn beeping.
Yes,
Was it coming from the vehicle that you tried to stop?
I believe that it was.
You stated that you've been in law enforcement for 25 years. That's a long time. So it would be fair to say that you operate a motor vehicle pretty much every day. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, I operate a motor vehicle almost every day.
And would it be also fair to say that
Don't.
you would only beep your horn in a motor vehicle if you were trying to alert someone to your presence?
Incorrect. I beat my horn out of anger several times.
I think that could be a fair statement.
Would it be also fair that you would beep your horn to avoid any danger?
Yes.
There could be many reasons
Yeah,
why a
to
person
find
is beeping
danger.
their horn.
Would one of those reasons be to avoid danger?
Could be, yes.
All right. Should text Nick to post on his locals. You're streaming the trial today. Might get you a boost in viewers. Somebody else can. I'm not going to beg Nick to post
Do you
something for me. Someone else can. I wouldn't
recall
mind.
if you
I just want to do it myself.
were able to see who was operating the vehicle you attempted to stop?
Yes, I was.
And can you recall a description of the operator of the vehicle you attempted to stop?
He was light skinned, black male, he had some light facial hair.
Is that all you recall?
That is what I recall.
Do you recall what they were wearing?
Hey, let's talk about
No, I do
prepping.
not.
So you were able to get a description of how the operator of the vehicle looked, but not what they were wearing.
That is correct.
Wow.
Do you recall how fast the vehicle was going at the time you attempted to stop it?
I believe the vehicle was going about 3 to 5 miles an hour when I tried to stop the vehicle, and it continued on past me.
Would it be fair to say that 3 to 5 miles an hour is not very fast?
I think it's very fast when you're in a parade route, when there's hundreds of people marching in the road and a police officer is standing in front of your car, pounding on the hood, trying to get the vehicle to stop. I'd say that that's too fast. Any speed is too fast on a parade route when you have all those people in the roadway. The car should not have been there.
That wasn't the question, but thanks for the commentary.
Oh, you're the only one laughing there, Chuckles.
Please just answer his questions. Attorney Opera will have an opportunity to redirect if necessary.
Would it be fair to say that that's not a very fast speed?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
Boom.
Do you recall if the operator of the vehicle that you gave a description of had any hair on their head?
What?
I do not recall seeing the operator's hair that day.
So it'd be fair to say you don't know if they had long hair, short hair, anything of that nature?
That is correct.
It's not a very good
Do you
description.
recall testifying at the preliminary hearing in this matter?
Yes, I do.
Can you recall what you said when asked a description of the driver of the vehicle you attempted to stop?
I don't recall word for word what I said.
Do you recall being asked the question?
I would think that I was, but I don't recall the exact words that I used then.
Just 1 second.
Just 1 second. Yeah, that's why he shaved his head. So, aha, I don't have long hair. Exactly.
Do you recall saying that the operator of the vehicle you attempted to stop had short hair and a short dark beard?
I'm not sure what the context is, but I don't recall saying that the person had short hair.
The context was the question of, did you get a description of the driver of the vehicle you attempted to stop?
I guess I'm not sure when you're speaking of, because was that when I saw the car or when we saw the vehicle after what witnesses said? It seems like I'm not sure exactly the time period that
So
you're
are we
asking.
talking about what witnesses said or what you actually saw?
Correct. That's what I'm confused about.
Well, you just said that you recall being asked at the preliminary hearing that you testified at a description of the operator of the motor vehicle. Would that be fair to say?
I don't understand your question.
I don't either.
I think it's very clear. You testified at the preliminary hearing in this matter, correct?
Yes, I did.
And were you not asked a description of the operator of the motor vehicle that you attempted to stop?
So I believe my testimony was at the preliminary hearing that I did not see the person's hair, if that's the specific time that you're speaking of.
I have a portion of that preliminary hearing that you testified at with your words right here.
Mr. Brooks, what page are you at?
I am at page 17.
All right, thank you.
You were asked, could you see anybody inside the vehicle? Your answer was, at that point, I could not see the person real clearly, but as the vehicle continued pushing through me, I was paused. My position changed to the side of the vehicle where I was directly outside the driver's side window. And I could see inside of the window and I could see the driver very clearly. Would that be fair to say that those are your statements?
Yes, sir.
So could you or could you not see the driver clearly?
Don't try to.
Your question is if I could see him clearly. Yes, I could see him clearly.
So why would you state that you couldn't see him clearly when asked the question?
I think you're asking about his hair.
No, I
you're
asked
going
about
back and
his hair
forth
before.
between-
This is a different question. I asked
Yes.
about the,
Could you ask your question again, please?
you just stated that you could see the driver clearly, correct?
Correct.
But you also said that you couldn't see the driver clearly.
This cop's
correct?
not doing well.
Mistake.
Grounds.
So, Mr. Brooks, I think it comes down to a little bit of context. I'm going to sustain the objection.
Uh huh.
And then if you would please rephrase. think it comes down to at what point in time in the contact with the SUV are you referring?
At any time.
No.
Your Honor, we need the question again. That's not, that question is vague.
Right. Put it all together. See what else, sustain the objection.
At any time, could you see the driver clearly? At any time during your attempt to stop the vehicle?
Yes, at any time I could see the person clearly as I was driving.
No.
The
Don't say
entire
at
time
any.
you
don't-
attempted
See,
to
don't say
stop
at
it, you
any
could
time. That was
clearly
a bad
see the
answer.
driver of the vehicle.
Well, at one time you asked any time, and then you asked the entire time. So
Detective Casey, just answer the question.
Yeah, don't fight with him,
Not
dude.
saying
You're
you
looking
don't
bad.
understand it.
This guy's
I don't
looking
understand
bad to
it.
me. Yes or no? Just yes or no the question, dude. He's nuts. You can don't try to outthink a nut job. Yeah, this cop is not looking good, man.
Just a second.
How do you lose
you
to a
observe
nutcase? You try to outthink the
The vehicle
nutcase.
strike anyone when you attempted to stop it?
no, I did not.
Did you see the vehicle strike anybody before it approached you?
No, I did not.
Would it be fair to say that there were hundreds of people present at the time that you attempted to stop the vehicle?
Yes, there were hundreds of people there.
And you saw no one struck by the vehicle?
That is correct.
He used Axe body spray.
Did you see if anyone else was, could you see rather, if anyone else was in the vehicle?
I did not see anybody else in the vehicle when it passed my location.
Do you recall there being any tinted windows to the vehicle you attempted to stop?
I do not recall the passenger front or the passenger rear being tinted. I believe that the rear windows on the SUV were tinted.
I'll get to the super chats here in just a minute when something.
So it would be fair
pauses.
to say that from your vantage point, you wouldn't be able to see the entire seating of the vehicle you attempted to stop?
Objection, that's a misstatement.
Grounds.
Overruled. You may answer the question.
Grounds. Shouting grounds
Could you
doesn't
re-ask the
help.
question, please?
Would it be fair to say that because of the tint to the rear windows that you cannot visibly see the seating of the vehicle that you attempted to stop?
The taint on the window? What? Ew.
I did not see anybody in the vehicle. I don't think that the tint had any reasons for me not to be able to see in.
This
So
this
it
is
would be
cross
fair to say
examination.
that you could clearly see the seating of the vehicle you attempted
After
to
he
stop.
finishes, then the
Front,
prosecution will get a chance to
passenger, and
rehabilitate
backseat.
the witness here.
From the limited view that I had, I thought that I could see it.
Even though you just said that the rears were tinted.
Just
I believe
answer.
that it's the far back windows in the passenger compartment that were tinted, not the passenger windows.
Okay, I'm
in my
really
memory.
frustrated that he is frustrating me more.
So it'd be
Than
fair to
the
say
defendant at this
you can
point.
recall every window that was tinted on the vehicle that you attempted to stop.
I think that question's been asked and answered, Your
Grounds.
Honor. His answer should
Grounds.
stand.
Hold on, Mr. Brooks.
Stop shouting grounds,
The
you
objection
idiot.
is sustained. Next question. Asked and answered.
Detective Casey, are you a party to this case in any way?
I don't understand the question.
Are
That's
you
your
a party
answer.
to this case?
I don't understand the question.
Have you filed a claim in regards to this case?
I have not.
Have you read the complaint in this case?
I've read the complaint.
Do you recall who the complaint was brought by?
The complaint is brought by the state of Wisconsin, represented by the Waukesha County District Attorney's Office, District Attorney Sue Opper.
So there.
So the state of Wisconsin then would be the plaintiff in this matter then, correct?
That is correct.
So he's
State of
and you work
Wisconsin.
for the state of
Do
Wisconsin.
you see the state of Wisconsin present in the courtroom?
Oh
right now?
Jesus!
Yes, I do. They are represented at the prosecution table by District Attorney Sue Opper, Deputy District Attorney Leslie Basie, Assistant District Attorney Zach Witchow.
You said represented.
Yes, sir.
Do you see the plaintiff?
He's going with.
The
You
plaintiff
have
is
to
an
face my
entity. They are
accusers.
represented by the District Attorney's Office.
So the plaintiff is an entity.
Correct.
Oh, Jesus.
To the best of your knowledge, is an entity a human being?
An entity is an entity. It is not a human being.
To the best of your knowledge, being in law enforcement for as long as you have, would it be fair to say
Cop
that
size.
an entity, which is not a human being, living person, can bring a claim against anyone?
Don't make no. Just
I believe they-
Object, Your Honor, to the
Grounds,
relevance.
grounds.
Hold on, let her get her objection out, okay?
I mean, I've tried to be patient, but these questions really have no bearing on this.
The objection is sustained on relevance grounds. Next question.
and it calls for a conclusion of law by the witness.
Have you ever had any interaction with the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Grounds. Couch.
How long have
Couch.
you known the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection.
Grounds.
Oh shit!
Let her get her objection out, Mr. Brooks. It's sustained on relevance grounds.
I'm gonna crawl through the screen and smack him upside the head if he says grounds one more fucking time. I swear to God.
Well, I do respect, Your Honor. I think that those are valid questions.
I don't know. I don't know what he means. I think
Mr.
he just
Brooks,
means
they've
what are
been
your
sustained.
grounds
Next
for
question.
objections? Yeah. While she's giving her grounds, he's screaming grounds. Couch is a solid objection. I would accept couch as a better objection than grounds. Well, he's trying
Just
to.
so we're clear for the record. You did hear the vehicle that you attempt to stop blow numerous times.
Blow. What?
Blow its horn.
Okay.
Yes, I heard the horn blowing as it was approaching my position.
Would it be fair to say that that would indicate that the vehicle was trying to alert people to its presence?
Objection calls for speculation.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Mother.
Speculation.
She has to give her grounds. You don't have to say grounds. She has to give the grounds. All right, I'm getting behind here. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Catherine Martinez KZ.
Just 1 second.
Baloney Bong, welcome to the channel. Has there ever been a case where someone is being sworn in to testify and they just say no to telling the truth, the whole truth, and so forth? I've never heard of
would
one.
it be
but
fair to
it would
say
be funny.
that the beeping of the horn was coming from the vehicle that you attempted to stop?
Objection asked and answered.
Grounds.
Asked and answered is the grounds you
It has been
dipshit.
asked and answered one last time. He may answer though. Go ahead. The objection's overruled.
I believe that it was coming from the vehicle that was coming to my position, the Ford Escape.
What would your defense be for Darrell Brooks if you were arguing
wanna
this?
Refer you again to page 15. It is from
God, I don't know.
your testimony at the
Insanity?
preliminary hearing.
With Your Honor, that's improper because Detective Casey does not have the testimony transcript in front of him.
Mhm.
The district
Grounds.
attorney is correct. This witness does not have the transcript in front of him.
So would that render him unable to recall what he testified to?
I don't know. You have to ask him that.
That's what I was attempting to do, Your Honor. I apologize.
Oh God, I'd vote for this guy to buy a mignonette boat and send him to the high seas, minus Richard Parker. If you didn't miss,
So
if
just
you missed
on
the
there,
last
not
stream,
allowed
that's
to
a
read
cannibalism
this.
reference. Send him out to the seas to be
Please
eaten.
ask your question, Mr. Brooks.
Isabella D. Again, advises if you were to
From the
defend
best of
Brooks,
your
what would your
knowledge.
defense be? Just curious. I don't know. It would have to be someone along the lines
Do
of
you recall
insanity or diminished
stating
capacity or
in
something.
your testimony at the preliminary hearing that it was in fact the vehicle
I don't
you
know.
attempted to stop that was blaring its horn?
Objection. That's not what the
Grounds.
transcript says.
Grounds.
And
It's not what they.
it's been asked and
God,
answered.
stop saying grounds. I swear to
Sustained.
Christ. Shade Chaser, thank you so much. If Brooks seriously thinks he can convince the court that the event did not happen, that's what it sounds like when he's asking the cop if he saw anyone struck by the vehicle. Yeah, he
Were
didn't,
you injured?
but there's
in
probably
any
hundreds
way
of other people that
attempting to
did.
stop the vehicle?
I was not injured when I was trying to stop the vehicle.
Yeah,
What did
Rob
you
Dorr
do
says, yes,
after
no, please repeat, rephrase, are the only way we're trained to
attempting to stop
answer.
the
Cop is
vehicle?
coming off very poorly. He's trying to outthink crazy. He's getting
I
pissed.
first got on my radio.
Don't
and
explain.
advised the other units that were in the parade route that
Yes or no?
Red Ford Escape.
You're exactly right, Rob Dorr. Thank you so much for the
I
super chat.
requested additional squads be sent 1039, which means red lights.
Darrell Smith,
and
grounds.
siren. Shortly after that, I began running after the Ford Escape in an attempt to stop it, but the vehicle sped up to a speed that I couldn't keep up with it until it hit the next position.
Don't try to explain your answer so much, man. You're not
Reading
looking
from the
good.
transcript, page 18.
He doesn't have a copy of it.
Do you recall us making a statement? Initially, I began, it's sort of what you just said.
Sort of what
Initially,
you
I
just said.
began chasing after the vehicle to try to get it to stop. And as I was following behind the vehicle, I could see that it was on the north side of the roadway, at times beeping its horn. Would that be fair to say that you made that statement?
That is a fair statement.
So even after you attempted to stop the vehicle, you still observed the vehicle beeping its
So is he saying he was telling people to get out of
I
the
heard
way of
vehicle
him trying to
beeping its
murder them?
horn after it passed me.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Hey, redirect.
Yes,
fuck
just
was that?
briefly. I'd like permission to put up Exhibit 120 again, Your Honor. It's already been admitted and published.
Permission granted.
The cop is just hyperventilating into the microphone. Worse than my dogs.
Detective Casey, is Exhibit
Detective
120
Vader.
on the screen now?
Yes, it is.
And you've been asked here today several questions from Mr. Brooks about what you saw as the vehicle passed you. Is that correct?
Objection. I do not consent to being called that name, and I do not.
Oh, for Christ's sake, shut up, you fucking idiot.
Objection is noted. It's overruled.
Yes.
Just call in the defendant so he can't say stupid shit like that
Is
anymore,
Exhibit
please.
120? Well, strike that. Do you know where on the parade route the vehicle was located when this screenshot was captured?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes, I do.
Where?
Approximately at 200 block of West Main Street. The building
Ground.
directly opposite the Ford Escape is 234 West Main Street.
The dancing
You were back at
grannies
the
were
intersection
attacking
of
the
White Rock and
SUV.
Main Street, correct?
Yes, I was.
So about how far was it from where you saw the red SUV with Mr. Brooks driving to where this photo was, where this video was taken, and this is a screenshot from that video, correct?
Objection. I do not consent to being called that name, and I do not know the individual by who you refer to.
Your
Please just
objection is
call in the
noted.
defendant.
May I
Please.
answer the question?
I would say that it's approximately 0.2 of a mile for me, a very short distance.
Okay.
Then you call him the fuckwit over there.
Was
I don't
the appearance virtually the same from when you saw it to when this screenshot was captured?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes, it
Objection,
was.
hearsay.
Are you able
Yes,
to
it
see
was.
the driver of the vehicle in this screenshot, sir?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Yes, I am.
Can you see the hair of the driver in this screenshot, sir?
You cannot see his hair.
As the vehicle went past you back at your post on White Rock in Maine, what were you focused on?
I was focused on the driver's face when it was driving past me.
Okay. You told us on direct
Not that
examination
I'm
on
aware
Friday
of,
you were
like a
able to
full
pound on
trial
the
like
hood.
this. Not that
Correct.
I'm aware of.
Were you directly in front of the vehicle at that point?
Objection. It was also, he also said in his testimony on Friday that he can identify the clothing. He specifically said what the color of the
Mr. Brooks,
clothing
you're
was.
attempting to testify. That's not a proper objection. As to the specific objection, it's overruled, and Attorney Opper may complete her question.
Where were you positioned when you were pounding on the hood of the SUV?
Objection.
Overruled.
What?
And by that, I don't mean the street, I mean where on the car.
I was directly in front of the vehicle by the left front bumper.
Did you have to step out of the way to avoid being struck?
Objection. Hearsay.
What?
Overruled.
How is that
The
hearsay?
vehicle came in contact with me. As it was pushing through me, I shuffled my feet to the side, and then I continued down the side of the vehicle where I came directly in view with the driver's side window.
Okay. So you would have been, what was the driver doing as it passed you?
Objection. Irrelevant.
I should say.
Overruled.
How is that irrelevant?
Do not
He was driving into
consent to
people.
being called he.
Initially,
Wait.
he was staring straight ahead.
He doesn't consent to
And
be
as I was
calling
pounding on the
he.
driver's side window, he turned and looked directly at my face.
Okay.
He-
And that,
We need to establish his
the reason you
pronouns.
were pounding on the hood and pounding on the driver's side window is what?
I was trying to get the vehicle to stop.
Yes,
Did the-
this is
did the vehicle
live.
stop?
The vehicle never stopped.
Did the driver make any effort to pull over or pull off the parade route at that?
Pull out or do
Stop.
anything.
Hearsay.
Overruled.
How is this hearsay?
I initially chased after the vehicle, trying to get it to stop. I could see the vehicle driving until it crossed Barstow, where it first made contact with people. The vehicle sped up, and I never saw it slow down or stop until I lost view of it as it crossed Barstow Street.
Okay.
Shaking your head does not help
Okay,
your
thank
bro.
you, sir.
Thank you. You may step down.
Oh God, got through that one okay. Gee, bus. All
State may
right.
call its next witness.
Thank you. The state would call Officer Bryce Butrin.
Okay. Brian Ellerman, thank you so much. No rackets today, so take my grounds. Grounds. That cop behind him is a freaking tank. I think we've decided that's the quartering. John Diaz, thank you so much for the super chat. He really thinks he's competent. Should the judge have just appointed counsel? Well, he did. He got the
Officer, please make your way to the
appointed to him,
witness
but then he
stand,
fired
which
him.
is to my right upper riser.
And he
When you
waived
get
his
there,
right to
please
have
remain
the
standing.
counsel.
Raise your right hand. My clerk, Teresa, will swear you in.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to
A
give
should
shall
have
be the
Darrell
truth,
Brooks
the whole truth,
represent
and
her.
nothing but the truth, so help
Wouldn't
you
have been
God?
worse.
Yes.
He's
Thank
got
you,
about
sir.
the same
Please have
number
a
of
seat.
objection hearsays.
First thing I will ask you
And
to
Lancelot,
do is to
Guy's
state
gonna
your
give Vices
first
an
and last
aneurysm.
names for the record and spell each.
First is Bryce.
And the last one to catch up on.
B-R-Y-C-E.
Brooks can't plead
Last is
insanity.
Butrin,
He is quite
B-U-T-R-Y-N.
aware of reality by the questions
you.
he
Go
asks.
ahead,
Insanity
your
isn't
witness.
stupidity, and stupidity isn't defensible. Guilty.
you.
Well, he can
Sir, how
plead
are you currently
insanity.
employed?
As a
But
police officer with
I don't
the
think he
City of
is.
Waukesha Police Department.
How long have you been a police officer?
Approximately 5 years.
Were you on duty on the date of November 21, 2021, sir?
Yes, I was.
And what was your duty?
I
Officer
was
made a
assigned
duty.
to a traffic control post for the annual holiday parade.
And what time did you start that afternoon?
I believe it was approximately 3 p.m.
Okay. And you were given a specific assignment of an area to patrol along the parade route?
Yes, I was.
Where was that location?
I was initially assigned to East Avenue at Arcadian Avenue, and I had repositioned to East Avenue and East Main Street.
Okay, I'm gonna actually ask if we could please put up Exhibit 1.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna give you a pointer, sir, if I may.
If I could have Deputy Whittick come get that from you, please.
Thank you.
He gets a pointer.
It's on the big screen behind you. I'm gonna have to ask you to use the pointer and just point out these locations, please. So
Is that expandable? Does he need to
Yes.
open that up? All right, thank you.
Okay, you told us first you were monitoring traffic at East Street and Arcadian Avenue, is that correct?
Yeah, so I was at East Stand Arcadian, which would be right here.
Okay. What was your purpose in working that location originally?
Originally, it was to prevent any northbound traffic from entering the parade route onto Main Street, so to divert any traffic from East Avenue to travel eastbound on Arcadian.
Okay. And then you said you moved up?
Correct.
Where did you go at that point?
I had repositioned my squad, which was a marked police SUV, to the intersection of Northeast Avenue and East Main Street.
When did you make that move?
From what was the parade lineup that we had, when there was approximately 10 spots left that we had thought, which was inaccurate at that time.
Okay. So as the parade was starting or
As the parade was nearing the end.
nearing the end? Okay. Okay, you can have a seat again, please, sir.
ASMR.
When you got up to near the parade route, did you just stay in that area, sir, or
Yes, I did.
were there any other officers present in that area?
Yes, there was.
And were you just watching the parade and monitoring the people?
Correct.
At some point, did something unusual occur?
Yes.
What was that?
There was initial radio traffic of squads being dispatched to what was initially coded as a man with a knife call. There was information that there was a fight occurring in Frame Park. And then after that, there was radio traffic that there was a vehicle that was entering the parade route.
Okay. And you were near the beginning of the parade route, as you just showed us, right?
Yes.
Okay. When you heard that information about a car entering the parade route, what did you do?
Based on the information that was available at that time and previous situations that had occurred, I unholstered my firearm and began walking out into the road on East Main Street,
What were you doing?
trying to get the attention of the driver to divert them off the parade route.
Okay. And how far into the road did you go?
I was initially positioned right at the intersection on the south side of Main Street.
But he had a
I
rapper
made my way
name?
to the north side of Main Street, and I would estimate maybe 50 feet or so from the intersection of Northeast Avenue.
Okay. Were you able to visually see the red SUV at that point?
Yes, I was.
What was it doing when you first saw it?
The vehicle was traveling on the north side of Main Street. It was honking its horn, and I estimated the speed to be traveling at approximately 25 miles per hour.
What did you do?
I had raised my left hand and was telling the vehicle to stop, and the vehicle was ignoring what I was doing.
When you say raise your left hand, can you demonstrate that for us, please?
So I placed my left hand out in front of me, indicating to the vehicle to stop.
It doesn't
Were
work
you dressed
against
in
a
a full
vehicle.
police uniform, sir?
Yes, I was.
Just for the record, when he raised his left hand, I would say about chest high, it was with a palm facing out as if in the stop position.
Thank you. Officer Butrin, as you stood in that position with your hand straight out trying to stop the car, would you say the car was off to one of your sides or directly in front of you? Could you tell us the position of the SUV?
The vehicle was directly in front of me. I would estimate my position to be where the front license plate would be on a vehicle, so right in the middle.
And what distance?
Well, luckily
was
he
the
used his
SUV
left
away
hand.
from you when you did this?
I would estimate the vehicle was approximately 200 feet or so. It came extremely close to me as it was making its way towards me.
Did you maintain that same position that you just described for us?
Yes, I did, until the vehicle was getting to the point where I believed that it was going to strike me, so I moved out of the way.
Were you saying anything?
I was saying stop.
Or I'll say stop again.
Stop the vehicle.
Were you saying that in normal conversational tone, or did you raise your voice at all?
I was yelling to get the attention of the driver as it was loud outside and it was cold, so I believe the windows were going to be up on the vehicle.
Okay. And your testimony is that you stayed in the position with your left hand extended in a stop motion for about as long as you could until you felt you had to move away to avoid being struck by the SUV?
That is correct.
If the SUV was coming directly towards you, did you step to the right or the left of the SUV?
I would have stepped to the right of the SUV, which would be the driver's side of the vehicle.
Okay. Were you able to see the driver of the vehicle as it went past you?
I was able to get a general description of the driver.
What do you remember?
I remember the driver to be a male black wearing a gray or white shirt and appeared to be wearing a hat or have their hood up.
Okay.
All right. Got to go to
Would you
members
say you got a
only
good look
to
at
make
the
the
driver's
comments.
face?
Sorry about that. We're getting porned.
I would say yes. I got a relatively.
I
good
tried to
look at the
avoid
driver's
that,
face.
but
Okay.
the bots caught up. We'll do 1 minute memberships to comment.
Did you
Sorry about
observe
that.
any facial hair on the
Subscribe
driver?
and comment.
At
Sorry.
that time, I did not.
And did the car go right past you, sir?
Yes, it did.
As it went
Subscribe
right
to
past you,
comment.
did anything
Again,
obstruct
apologize.
your vision to see into the
The
car?
subscriptions just went way up.
No, it
That's
did
funny.
not.
Were you able to see into the car, the SUV?
Yes, I was.
Did you see any other persons in the SUV?
I did not. There was only one sole occupant, which would be the driver of the vehicle.
Yes, I meant subscribe. I know I said members quite a couple of times.
As you were yelling at the SUV to stop and holding out the stop sign, did the vehicle stop?
The vehicle did not stop.
Did you see what the driver was doing as?
Yes, I meant
he
subscribers
went past
only.
you?
I caught myself.
The driver appered to be emotionless and was looking.
Oh,
straight
Rob
ahead,
Dory, you didn't have to
clearly
do that. I hope you
ignoring
didn't do that just
anything
to
was to the
comment.
sides of the vehicle.
Thank you.
Okay. Did you hear the vehicle honking its horn
Yes, I did.
more than once?
Yes, multiple times.
As the vehicle went past you, what did you do?
I had lowered my firearm again to my side, and I attempted to grab the driver's side door with my left hand
Why'd you do that?
in order to hopefully open the door and gain the attention of the driver to get them to stop.
Are you able to estimate the speed of the vehicle as it went past you?
Objection.
What?
Hearsay.
Overruled. He may answer.
Sorry, that's not hearsay.
Based on my training experience, I estimated the vehicle to be traveling at approximately 25 miles an hour at that time.
Were you able to get the door handle open?
I was not.
Did you get
Rip
a
your
hand
arm
on
off.
it?
I did not. The vehicle was traveling too fast
Yeah.
to be able to do that.
Okay.
He's
You reached
lucky
for
he
it, but
did.
missed,
He's lucky
basically.
he didn't get a
That's
hand
correct.
on it.
Okay. This is the area where you tried to stop the SUV. This is before Barstow, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Did you continue to watch the vehicles that went past you?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled.
I had watched the vehicle and I began to chase after it westbound on Main Street.
On foot?
Yes, on foot.
Were you walking or running? What were you doing?
I was running after it.
Were you saying anything at that time?
Objection. Irrelevant.
Overruled.
At that point, after the vehicle had passed me, I was not saying anything, I just began chasing it.
Okay. And you were running after it.
Yes,
Were you able to catch it?
I was not. The vehicle was traveling too fast.
Can you approximate the speed of the vehicle at this location?
After the vehicle had passed me, I appeared to have begun increasing its speed. Vehicle was traveling approximately.
He seems to be a
30
better
35
witness than the
miles an
last
hour.
guy.
Did you see the red SUV strike anyone?
Not between the intersections of Northeast Avenue and Northwest Barstow Street.
How about once it crossed Barstow?
Yes.
What did you
Ah.
see?
This has got to be
You can
hard.
take your time. I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
know this is a lot of questions, so.
I observed the vehicle swerving side to side. People flying from the vehicle, items flying in the air, things like that.
Do you know, Officer Butrin, as you have to reflect on this in your testimony, who was being struck? Do you remember a uniform or a description of any type?
There was so many things flying at that point. I don't know what was being struck.
Now, you were trying to keep up with the vehicle, right, on foot?
Yes, I was.
To be clear, there's no squad cars chasing the defendant's vehicle, correct?
Not at that time, though.
Okay, just officers on foot trying to catch up.
That's correct.
And at any point, did you see the vehicle just pull over to the side of the road and stop?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
From the time that I could visually observe the vehicle, I did not see it stop or pull to the side of the road.
After you saw the SUV strike other human beings, did you see the driver stop, pull over, and check on those persons?
Objection, irrelevant.
Overruled.
No, I did not. The vehicle continued.
Was the driver of the SUV still honking the horn?
Objection, hearsay.
Well,
Overruled.
it is not hearsay, you fuckwit.
From
Shut
the
up.
distance that the vehicle had traveled away from me, I could not at that time hear what the vehicle was doing.
Okay. I'm gonna show a couple videos to you, okay, sir? First, I'm gonna ask for exhibit number 16 to be put on preview mode.
See if we can clear up a few of these while they're doing it. Hold up, says Shay Jazer. Thank you for the super chat. When he did not consent to being called he, they were only talking about the driver. So did he admit that he was driving then? Oh, you're
right.
giving him way too much credit for
Do you
processing
see exhibit
information.
16 on your screen, Officer Butrin?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay.
Can you explain sovereign citizen, please? Thanks. Oh, no. There,
It's not now.
you can't do it easily. Basically, they're a
Okay,
group
I'm
of
gonna
people that
ask-
somehow have decided that the laws do
Discussing-
not
just
apply
play
to
a few
them. They're
seconds
their
so
own
that you can
countries.
Make sure you're
They
looking at the same
aren't
clip that we.
They aren't bound by the laws. They don't need driver's licenses. They don't need insurance.
Okay, you can stop for the record. About
Then they
3
get into some
seconds
really
of the clip
crazy
was
beliefs.
played. Do you recognize this video clip, sir?
Just
Yes, I
just
do.
Google sovereign
In the preview
citizen
that you just
definition
observed, did you see
and
yourself
be
in the clip?
amazed.
Yes, I did.
Okay, and I'm going to ask, excuse me, do you believe this clip is a true and accurate representation of your actions on November 21 of 2021?
Yes, I do.
Move to admit and permission to publish, Your Honor.
Objection. We haven't seen the entire video yet. How do we know what's in the video?
The proper foundation has been laid. The objections noted. Exhibit 16 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
There you
All right,
go.
for the record, it's a total clip of 18 seconds. I'm going to play it through once for the jury, and then we can break it down and ask you to describe further if we need to.
Trigger warning. People getting run over by vehicles. He actually ran away to another house. Like it was pretty wild. He ran away and was like seeking help and trying to use some dude's phone down the street. Then the cops nailed him later.
Officer Butrin, is that the video? Is that video consistent with the testimony you just provided about? your
Okay,
efforts
guess
to
they're not
approach
showing
the
us the
SUV and
videos.
Stop it.
Yes, it is.
We were not able to see on the video the part where you stood in the middle of the road with your left hand extended, correct?
That is correct.
But we did see you run from the right side of the video to the left side of the video and appear to be making your way down the north side of the street. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And is that the location where you would have been when you tried to stop the vehicle?
Yes.
And then we saw you sprinting after the vehicle, correct, on foot?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to show you another exhibit 17, please.
Loser doctor, thank you so much. Just calling the a-hole in the
And again,
defendant's
we'll
chair.
Preview it, ask you to take
That'd
a
work.
few seconds to look at it and see if you recognize it, okay?
Julio woke up. Maybe the fried bologna I ate, or secondhand hangover for Levi Friday stream. Lol. Oh, don't be sick.
Okay, you can stop. Again, she just previewed
Fried
the
bologna
first
with
3
a slice
seconds.
of Kraft cheese on it.
Officer
Old
Butrin,
school.
have you seen this video before, sir?
Yes, I have.
Do you see yourself in this video?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe this video is a true and accurate representation of your actions on November 21 of 2021?
Yes, I do.
Do you happen to know how this video was recorded?
That's an easy definition.
Or from
Relevant.
what camera? You're right, it's a vague question. From what camera this video was recorded?
Objection. Relevant.
Overruled.
This was recorded from the City Washington Police Department squad camera
For your squad car?
for the squad car that was operating that night, yes.
Okay. Move to admit number 17 and permission to publish.
Objection. Actually, it's 4 seconds that was played, and I
Oh,
still
thank you.
don't. We still aren't clear of the relevancy of this video.
Your objections are noted. The foundation has been laid. It's relevant.
Shut the F up
Overruled.
and move on.
Exhibit 17 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
All right, we're gonna put it up before we play it. I'm just gonna have you set the scene here. Can you?
Yeah.
That's a
That's
touch
what it
screen in
looks
front of
like.
You, sir.
Looks
Can
like they're
you
just not showing it
circle
on
yourself in the video.
Take a swig there, babe. It's probably got gin in it.
All right, and next to it looks like there's a person in a yellow vest that reads police. Is that correct?
Objection. We're referring to the officer giving testimony, not the officer that's present with him.
Overruled.
Oh, shut up.
Yes, that is correct.
Who is that officer?
That'll be Officer Schneider.
Okay. And what's the crossroad here again? If you could just remind us.
Objection.
On the-
Relevant.
We'll start on the south side of the street.
The objections noted. It's overruled. He may answer.
On the south side of the street where the squad is parked, that is going to be Northeast Avenue. I
Okay. And on the north side of the street?
believe that'll be Buckley Street.
Okay. So
Buckwheat
can you
Street.
erase, you can clear the screen, please? Oh, clerk did it. Thank you. Just kind of draw a line or point out where Buckley Street is. It's a little hard to see exactly at this moment, correct?
Correct.
You could just show okay. And as this video plays, you can see Buckley Street a little clearer as the people move. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. All right, please clear. Thank you.
Huh.
All right, we're going to go ahead and play this in its duration. It's 37 seconds in length.
Can you get Dave Chappelle on? I wish.
There you go.
Correct.
Let's talk about prepping members only chat. On what grounds? Yeah, we know I misspoke. Meant subscribers. Joe Fabian, I want an unnamed defense lawyer to try to convince people the defendant wasn't driving at the time people
All
were
right,
hit.
Officer
Oh, he
Butrin,
wasn't
again,
he
it's
was
not a
traveling on the
100% clear
land.
shot, but you could see you
He wasn't
making your way
driving.
around the front of that white pickup truck, correct?
Correct.
That was one of the entries in the parade?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And then you kind of go out of view behind that white pickup truck, correct?
That is correct.
Is that the area where you encountered Mr. Brooks in the SUV?
Objection. I do not identify by that name, nor do I consent to it.
Again, motherfucker.
The objections noted. It's overruled.
That is where I had initially placed my hand out in front of me and advising the vehicle to
Ground.
stop.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be funny if the prosecutor just started yelling grounds at him every time he did it.
How far down that parade route did you run, sir?
I made it all the way down to there's a tattoo parlor, I believe the address is in the 400 block of West Main Street, so almost all the way down Main Street till it makes the curve and ends.
Okay. And you were not able to catch up to the SUV, correct?
No,
But again, as you previously testified, the SUV had not stopped anywhere along that route, correct?
Objection. I already asked this question, and it was answered already.
It's foundational, Your Honor.
Overruled.
correct. I never observed the vehicle stop at any point that I was making my way down the route.
I think he's just trying to
As you
learn
were
what
running down the
objections
route,
are as he
did
goes
you
along.
encounter people who had been struck and injured?
Objection. Already asked question.
Overruled.
Yes, I did.
What do you remember about that, sir?
Oof, rough question.
There were multiple casualties on both sides of the road, varying degrees of injuries to people. The only way to describe it is just pure chaos. There was people pulling at me in multiple directions, trying to help people.
Did you attempt to render first aid to some people?
Initially from the area of Barstow to the area of about Clinton Street. There was still an active threat of the vehicle, so I continued to chase after that vehicle to stop the threat. And then when I made my way to Clinton Street and westbound from there, began to render aid.
Okay. Some point much later in the night, are you aware that the vehicle that was suspected to have been involved in this incident was found on Maple Street, sir?
Yes,
Did you go to that area?
yes, I did.
Did you take a look around the area where the vehicle was located?
Yes, I did.
He looks like a pretty young guy
Were
too.
you
That must have been
able
rough to watch.
um,
Yeah.
Determine, well, strike that. Do you remember where the vehicle was parked?
Objection irrelevant.
Overruled.
I do not recall the address in which it was parked, but I do know the position of where the vehicle was parked, yes.
Could you just briefly describe how the vehicle was parked?
Objection irrelevant.
Overruled.
The vehicle was backed into a driveway at a residence on Maple Street.
And do you remember looking around the area where the vehicle had traveled near the residence on Maple Street?
Yes,
Do you remember finding a hat at that location?
Objection irrelevant.
Overruled.
How is
Yes, I
finding
do.
evidence
As
irrelevant?
for
He doesn't
exhibit
even know what these
92.
words mean.
previewed for the witness, please. Is 92 up, sir?
yes, it is.
Do you remember seeing that item?
Yes, I do.
Do you believe this picture is a true and accurate representation of the hat that you observed in the backyard?
Yes, I do.
Move to admit 92 on permission to publish, Your Honor.
Objection hearsay. How can we know for sure that that hat wasn't by somebody that lives in the building?
Mr. Brooks, you can't testify. You're attempting to do that. I'll instruct you not to. Your objection is overruled
Mm-hmm.
and Exhibit 19 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
I'm sorry, it's 92, Your Honor.
Oh, 92. Thank you. Exhibit 92.
You remember seeing that hat in the backyard area, sir?
Yes, I do.
Irrelevant.
In fact, you remember asking the people at the residence if any of them own that hat?
There was one male that came out that had taken a picture and asked the rest of the residents at that location if it was any of theirs.
And did it belong to anyone at the residence?
They indicated that it did not.
ASMR discussions. Hey, take my mug
Oh,
and give me some more gin.
The videos that we saw, exhibit 16 and 17, I asked you about that side road on the north side of the street, north side of Main Street, Buckley Street, correct?
That is correct.
Were there any barricades at that location, sir?
Objection hearsay.
Overruled.
How the
Yes, there were, if I remember correctly, I believe there was.
I'm
3
getting
barricades.
triggered by an idiot.
And did
Stop.
they fully block the roadway at that location?
Yes,
If Mr. Brooks had wanted to leave the parade route, would he have been able to get out at that location?
Objection. I do not consent to that name, or nor do I know any individual by that name.
Your objection's noted. You may answer the question.
You may shut the fuck up.
yes, it would have been a reasonable exit point.
Would there have been anything other than those plastic barricades that would have blocked his exit from the parade at that spot?
Nobody has said they want to be a guest today.
It's not
So,
hearsay. It's overruled. You may answer.
the ones I've sent out.
No, the only thing that
Or
would have been
others.
struck was the plastic barricade.
Thank you. Those are all my questions, sir.
Whew.
You may ask this witness questions, Mr.
Baldo
Brooks?
Gagger 4000. Thank you
Yes.
so much. Objection. He can't say the vehicle was traveling. Those are my magic words.
Officer,
Yeah.
is it Butrin?
Correct.
Butt shrink. What?
Good morning, officer. You stated that you had got or you heard a radio call about a knife fight in Frame Park.
That is correct.
Did you ever at any time follow up or go to Frame Park to investigate the said knife fight?
No, I did not.
Did you learn any initial information about the said fight?
No, I did not.
Do you know who reported the knife fight?
No, I do
Objection.
not.
Relevant.
So you also stated that you heard the vehicle that was approaching honking its horn multiple times. Is that correct?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, what would be a reason that someone operating a motor vehicle will honk their horn?
Objection, speculation.
Overruled. You may answer.
There are multiple reasons why a vehicle would do that.
Can you give any specific reason?
I swear to God, he's going for the argument that he's
To
honking his
alert
horn, so therefore they had the
People or vehicles in the
obligation to
area
get out
that
of his
there's a
way.
vehicle coming.
And you also stated that you didn't see anyone struck while the vehicle was approaching you.
Between the area that I observed the vehicle and Northwest Barstow Street, I did not see anybody struck, no.
Would it be fair to say that you also didn't see the vehicle target anyone?
Objection,
Browns.
speculation.
Calls for speculation on the part of the witness. So it's sustained. You can rephrase your question.
Did
The
you
way it was
see
asked calls for speculation.
while the vehicle was approaching you, you stated that you saw it maybe 200 feet away, I think is what you said. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
Did you see the vehicle actively targeting anyone to strike them?
Same objection.
Sustained as to the form of the question.
Yep. Calls for spatulation.
What would you estimate the population was right at what was shown on the video? Was it hundreds of people, dozens of people, right in the general area that you were?
I would estimate there's probably several hundred people in that area.
And you saw no one struck?
Objection, vague.
Can you rephrase, please, just to be specific?
Out of the hundreds of people that were in your general area, you didn't witness anyone being struck by the vehicle?
Amanda H., 2 months
Not
member of the
initially.
Clean and Sober crew. Did you know he has statutory charges about age 23? Got 15-year-old pregnant. We think was this girl, the girl he ran over before. Yeah. Wonder how long he'd been sleeping with her before that, though. Mm-hmm.
You also stated that there were barricades in the general area that you were?
Yes.
Were they off to the side? Were they in front of you? Where were the barricades located?
They would have been located on Buckley Street and on Northeast Avenue.
He's being very sovereign citizen today.
Would it be fair to say that those were the side streets coming into the main street?
Yes.
So would it be fair to say that a vehicle that was on the parade route would have to go down one of those side streets that was barricaded off to exit the parade route?
Yes.
And from your, I guess from your perspective, with a
Yes,
vehicle
I
that was
did
on
just
a
say
parade
he. I
route
forgot he
know
objects to
that
that
they can
pronoun.
exit from those areas that were barricaded?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Were you injured in any way by the vehicle?
No.
And in the video was pretty short video. Would it be fair to say that the vehicle passed you relatively quickly?
Yes.
And you were able to get a look at the operator of the vehicle as quickly as it passed you?
Yes.
Did you notice any tinting to any of the windows on the vehicle?
No.
So you were able to see inside of the vehicle pretty clearly?
Yes.
Oops, I boomered. That's funny. Had the mic off.
Did you get a
This guy's a much better witness
description
than the
of
last
what the
cop.
operator of the vehicle was wearing?
Yes.
You stated that the operator of the vehicle was wearing a hat. Would that be fair to say?
The operator of the vehicle appeared to be wearing a hat or have their hood up.
If you got a clear description of the operator of the vehicle, wouldn't you know if it was a hat or a hood?
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
Argumentative.
Sustained. Rephrase your
Jesus,
question.
stop saying grounds right after she gives you the grounds.
Would it have been, would the vehicle had been moving too
Correct.
fast for you to
That's what I get.
clearly see if the driver had anything on their head?
No.
About how fast would you estimate that the vehicle was traveling when it passed you?
You already said that.
Approximately 25 miles per hour.
About how fast would you estimate the vehicle was traveling when it was approaching you?
Approximately 25 miles per hour.
Were you able to hear the vehicle honking before it approached you or when it came upon you?
I was able to hear the vehicle honking
It's a
before it
vehicle
approached me.
bukkake.
Did you hear the vehicle honk after it had passed you or came in contact with you?
No, I did not.
Should I invite Drex on? That'd be fun.
Would it be fair to say that the video shows that you can clearly see or let me rephrase that. Would it be fair to say that the video that was shown, you can clearly hear the vehicle honking?
No.
Good answer, cop. Oh, you don't look confused like, oh, no. Follow up the question, dumbass. No, you
Can
can't
you
because
play the
you're a
video
dumbass.
again for the
Oh,
witness?
there he goes.
You want it? Which one? Which video?
Exhibit 17.
The squad video?
That's
the one you're
irrelevant.
requesting, the
Jack
squad
off.
video?
Exhibit 17.
All right, permission
Whatever
to
is
publish
exhibit.
and show is granted.
Oops, sure. The question about the hood or hat sounds reasonable. Oh. Why are we saying this? Okay.
Pause it right there. So at the time, we see you running over to where this white, I think that's a pickup truck. Is that you?
Yes.
At that time, had you heard the vehicle honking?
I don't recall.
I didn't hear any honks. And I'm a honky.
What prompted you
See what I did
to
there?
move so quickly to
I'm
jog
such an
towards
idiot.
the area that you were jogging to?
The radio traffic that I had heard.
So at that time, did you see a vehicle approaching? Wait, I still want to play that. At that time, did you see a vehicle approaching?
From my position here, I don't know exactly when I had observed the vehicle.
Continue playing.
Oh,
Pause right there. Would it be fair to say that that was not just a horn that was heard honking
I didn't hear a horn.
after the vehicle was past you?
I did not hear a horn, no.
I didn't hear a horn.
Wind it
either.
back.
For the record, Your Honor, the first time Mr. Brooks asked for the video to be paused, it was 22 seconds. The second time, it was about 39 seconds. We're now going back to about the 30-second mark.
Objection. There isn't 39 seconds in the video. It stops at 37. So how could it be
I'm
39?
sorry. You're absolutely right, sir. 29.
Ooh,
thought it
score
was
one for
39.
Brooks.
I can hear a horn.
Sir, you can't testify, so you can ask a question of this witness, we'll watch it again,
When?
but at
Let
some
me ask
point,
you-
you can't argue with
Let me
him.
ask this question. When did you observe or
Oh,
hear?
just show the video so I don't have to keep
vehicle
holding
honk.
my
At
earphones
which
tight
part
in my
in
ear
this
to look for
video?
the imaginary fucking honk that isn't there.
At no point in this video do I hear the horn honking.
But
Nor
you
does
did in
any
fact
other
hear the
person.
vehicle honking.
Yes.
Do you remember what you were generally doing when you heard the
What you were generally
vehicle
doing?
honking?
Vague.
Making my way to the north side of Main Street to get the vehicle to stop.
So that would be when you were sprinting over to the white pickup truck.
Correct.
That's when you heard the vehicle honking.
Sometime in between there, yes.
And you heard it multiple times.
Yes.
And to the best of your knowledge, a honking horn from a vehicle would indicate trying to alert people to its presence, correct?
There are several reasons why a vehicle would honk the horn.
Would you honk your vehicle to alert people to your presence?
Objection.
Relevant.
Grounds.
It's not
Relevant.
relevant, sustained.
God damn it. I hate that he says grounds after she gives the grounds.
You said it would be multiple reasons.
What
That a
would some
vehicle
of those
honk.
reasons be?
It's horn. Would it be fair to say that one of those reasons would be to alert?
Objection asked and answered.
Overall,
he's
you
getting
may
frustrated.
answer it. You may finish
He's
your
getting
question.
frustrated. He's going to have a Brooks
It'd
out.
be fair to ask that would be to alert the many people that we can see in this video right now to the presence of the vehicle approaching.
Yes.
Officer Butrin, I see you in a uniform today. Would it be fair to ask that you would be on duty right now, if not called to testify?
Hold on, Mr. Brooks,
Relevant.
before we move on to a next topic, you had asked it to be paused. I trust you don't want anything anything further from this video published to the jury at this time.
Not at this time.
All right, Madam Clerk may take it down. My apologies for the interruption.
That's okay.
Go ahead, ask your question again.
Would it be fair to say that if you weren't here to testify this morning, you would be on duty?
No, I would not be.
So this would be an off day?
I'm currently on vacation, yes.
Ha ha.
Do you normally wear your uniform on vacation?
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
Argumentative, you. Fuck.
He may answer.
I'm gonna block myself. I'm gonna get myself nuked here because I just
Only
want
if
to
I have
swear.
something related to police activity or duty.
Do you feel that it was necessary to wear your uniform in court today?
Objection,
Grounds.
argumentative.
Argumentative, relevance.
Sustained. Next question.
Are you a party to this matter in any way?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained. It's not relevant.
Do you have a
I may
claim
have
in
to
this
start
matter?
swearing in Korean
Objection,
here.
irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Have you read the complaint in this matter?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Not relevant. Sustained.
Do you know who the plaintiff is in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Oh my God.
Sustained.
Can you testify on who called you to testify? Who subpoenaed you to testify here this morning?
I got your subpoena right here.
I believe it was the state of Wisconsin.
So the state of Wisconsin would be the plaintiff in this matter, to your knowledge?
Objection, Your Honor.
Grounds.
This question is irrelevant.
Sustained. It's not relevant, sir. Sustained. Next
I think it
question.
holds relevant who called him to testify.
You already answered.
Dumbass. He said the state.
So you've had interactions with the state of Wisconsin?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant and vague.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Can you testify?
Oh, I
that
sent
the state
Andrew.
of Wisconsin
Andrew's probably
is
sleeping.
a
It's
living human being or
12:30
entity?
a.m. here.
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Sustained.
Grounds. Grounds in my coffee. Grounds in my coffee.
So you in fact don't have a claim in this matter, correct?
Objection, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Christ on a cross, would you stop saying grounds?
Sustained.
Fuck. Oops, I should have waited about 15 more minutes before I did that. That's funny.
You are aware that all police departments are funded by the state of Wisconsin.
Rose
are you
is
not?
using Google
Objection,
Translate.
irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Inaccurate.
Grounds.
Sustained.
I know what you were
That's
trying to
an
say
inaccurate
with the
statement,
Google
then who
Translate,
pays you?
but
Objection to
Grounds.
relevance.
instead
Overall,
of saying
he may
this
have-
fucking case
he
needs to
may
be ended
answer-
quickly
I
is what I
assume he
think you were
may be
saying, but
using his
the Google
salary.
Translate for that was
Correct.
this fucking briefcase,
The city
briefcase.
of
They use
Waukesha.
like briefcase, not
Is
court
the
case.
city of Waukesha in the
Needs
state
to
of
be
Wisconsin?
closed. That's funny.
Yes.
Is the city of Waukesha the plaintiff in this case?
No.
Grounds.
How long have you known the plaintiff?
No, he's
in this
asking
case?
for the grounds. For,
Grounds.
Irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
fucking stop
Next
that, you
question.
dumbass. He's asking for the grounds for
So
her
to the best of your
objection.
knowledge,
But
you've
she's
never
already
even
given
had
the grounds for
any
her
interaction
objection.
with the plaintiff in this matter.
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant.
Sustained. Mr. Brooks, under 90611, if you need to move on to a new topic of cross-exam, otherwise I will declare the cross-exam opportunity closed.
Declare the cross-exam opportunity closed, please, for the love of all that is holy and unholy in the universe.
At any time when the vehicle passed you, did you hear the vehicle honk?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
Is it fair to say that in the video clip that we were just shown, no one was struck?
Correct.
Would it also be fair to say that in the video we just saw, no one the vehicle did not attempt to strike anyone?
Speculation.
Speculation.
Grounds.
Speculation, you dumb shit.
Sustained. Calls for speculation on the part of the vehicle operator.
You can
God.
clearly see in the video. that
No, you can't clearly see what someone was intending to
Okay,
do. Maybe it was a really bad
The jury
fucking
will
attempt.
disregard
You
the last statement made by Mr. Brooks as he
defendant.
may not testify at this point in time. Next question, please.
Just for the record, I don't consent to being called that name, Your Honor.
Next question, please.
Is it fair to say that by the video footage,
No. Just object. Everything that man
and to
said
the
is
best of your
bullshit.
knowledge, no one was struck before the vehicle approached your presence?
Objection,
Grounds.
asked and answered.
Grounds.
Asked and answered.
Jesus.
Sustained. Next question.
I didn't answer the question.
What?
The witness did.
The witness did, you dipshit.
To the best of your knowledge, at that point where you observed the vehicle, to your knowledge, no one had been struck at that point.
Bell end is the word I was looking for. By the way, hit the like button.
Correct.
There's like 1,000 of you I could get 1,000 more likes instantly. There's 1,700 of you here and 700 likes. Hit the like button, slap the bell end down there for notifications, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. It's my 1 hour and 45-minute grift. While he's struggling, we'll have to catch up on some super
And
chats.
for the record,
Oh,
you have no filed claim in this matter whatsoever.
Objection, irrelevant.
Sustained.
I hear you're a swinger
Were you
now.
injured
What
in any
happened?
way during
Leave
this
my
matter?
pineapple shirt alone.
No.
Swear to God,
No
leave my
further
pineapple
question.
shirt out of this.
Redirect.
Just very briefly.
Oh. Well, sorry to say that I'm here because Nick isn't
Madam
streaming.
Clerk,
Hey,
put back
whatever
up
reason you're
number
here for, that's
17.
great. But now you get to have the money that I would have sent him. Suck it, Ricada. I get your $20. Thank you so much.
And as it's being
Thanks
displayed
for
right now,
streaming.
we are paused at the 33-second mark.
I can't listen to this trial without some kind
Officer
of funny man
Butrin,
to make
can
it
you
bearable. I'm
clearly
sorry I'm
see-
not a funny man. I'm just doing my best.
North on Buckley Street from this vantage point, sir?
Yes, I can.
You see one plastic barricade obstructing travel to go northbound on Buckley Street at that location, sir.
Objection. You can clearly see officers there too.
Jury will disregard at least the attempt to testify by Mr. Brooks. Your objection is noted, it's overruled. He may answer the question.
Yes, there's at least one barricade visible there.
Okay. And I am going to ask the exhibit be replayed in its entirety.
No, an upside down
With no one
pineapple
talking,
for
so
some
we can
reason
all listen
signals
to hear
a
if the horn is
swinger.
honking. So,
And I have a
Jesse,
shirt
please
full of
play it again from the
pineapples, and one of them is upside down, and that's
Thank
what
you.
you degenerates on chat log on to and notice. Oh, potentially criminal streaming too? Oh, okay.
Exhibit 17 has been played in full. Officer Butrin, at any point were you able to hear the horn honking in that video, sir?
No, I was not.
Thank you. I don't have any other questions.
All right, thank you. You may step down. All right, this will be a good stopping point for our mid-morning break. We'll take a 15-minute break.
Whew. All
All
right.
rise for the jury, please.
All right, now we can clear some super chats here and shoot the shiz for a while. Wow. "15-minute break here." Scrolling up to make sure I didn't miss highlighting any super chats. Then we can go through and hit the super chats. Yep. Okay, I guess we got all of them. All right. We will.
All right, thank you, everyone. We'll be back in 15 minutes. We are in recess.
Yay, it's recess, my favorite part of the school day. Okay, well. Shit, we got through that. Man. Oh, you stayed with me instead of watching Crowder? Jeez. I'm very, very honored. All right. Oh, I'm just looking around for, I don't have any alcoholic beverages within reach. I'll just have to drink some water and consider myself lucky. That was rough. My blood pressure is, I'm feeling a little tense in the shoulders. All right. Dang. All right, we got a few super chats here to get through in this 15 minutes of peace and quiet. Once we get through these, we can just like turn it over to the chat and see what happens. Henry, Dave Chappelle stage time disasters. Have him on. Yeah. Because I've got all of Dave Chappelle's deets. Hempland, Texas. Thank you so much for TX. I don't know if it's Texas for sure or not, but anyway, 1999. Thank you so much. You would die from taking a shot each time he objects. Oh, Christ. That wouldn't even, yeah. Well, we wouldn't even begin to consider the merest possibility of doing something that foolish. Thanks for streaming today. Please just cancel your afternoon. I totally feel exactly the way you do about his objections. Yeah, I'll go at least till the lunch break. I doubt I'll be able to go after the lunch break. Might have to wrap us over to potentially criminal or something after that. But I was definitely not planning on streaming this today. And I do have some very urgent work to do tomorrow because there was an oil spill here, a small oil spill that I have to deal with from a ship. Bear in the Woods, thank you so much. Sorry, sir, I didn't follow up on the knife fight because some lunatic was plowing through a parade. Exactly. And I think this second officer is doing a lot better job than the first police officer was. First police officer was, again, trying to outthink stupid. He's trying to outthink just the idiocy of it all. And you can't do that. Just answer the questions. And if you can't answer them, say, please rephrase that, or could you please say that again, or I don't understand. Then leave it up to the prosecutor to work it all out when she gets a chance to do her rehabilitation questions. Second guy is really sharp. I liked him. Lancelot 652, thank you so much. He's like a parrot. He just repeats but doesn't understand. Grounds. That grounds thing is driving me up a wall. They have to state the grounds for their objection. They have to state their grounds for objection. They'll do it. You don't have to. And 9 times out of 10, she's already given her grounds for objection before you yell grounds. God, that's going to be an earworm. His defense seems to be, says Bumtown 1, the driver was driving down a road honking to get people out of the way, so it's not his fault people were hit. Pretty much, that's what it seems to be to me. That's what he's got going. That seems to be what it is. You know, the car malfunctioned. He was kidnapped and hijacked by the car. And he was honking, trying to desperately save people's lives, and nobody paid attention to him. That is literally where he seems to be going with this. Jensen, thank you so much for the super chat. Grounds is just the word of the day. What's the word for today? It's like Sesame Street going on over here. Eric Horvath, thank you so much. Shots of espresso for every time he sounds grounds, because we'd all die if it was liquor. Then again, we may have attacks too from the caffeine. Yeah, I'd probably die from the caffeine as well. Snibbles44 became a member. Thank you so much for joining my members. It is deeply, deeply appreciated. Everyone should join my members. Isabel D, you're doing just fine as the legal deacon for all of us. Enjoying your stream. Again, the Law 2 president isn't here, so the acting president has to step in. Surreal Goose. So does pineapple and green jello signify polygamy? No, the green jello has to have shredded carrots in it to be an official Mormon jello, or marshmallows. The green jello needs to have either shredded carrots or marshmallows, and if you want to go really wild, both. But all right, that's catching us up on the super chats here. We've got a bunch of time here. So, except for Baldo Gagger just coming in with another super chat. Honking equals not reckless equals no life behind bars. He's going for it. You may as well just throw that Hail Mary and hope for the best. I mean, what the hell are you going to do? You've got no better argument to make. You may as well make that one. Oh, Lord. Green jello must have pineapple. No, you did. Don't knock it until you've tried it. Some shredded carrots in green jello. Mormons are strange. And to the other Morms and or form Morms here in chat, funeral potatoes. We have funeral potatoes too. Just it's a thing. Has he even conceded he was the driver? No, he has not conceded he was the driver. That's his whole deal. Well, he has mistakenly conceded that he's the driver by saying certain things, but essentially, no. That's why he's saying, did he have long hair? I think at some point he legit thought, if I shave off my head and then I go in there and I can ask them if I had long hair, and they say, yeah, see, short hair, and he'll get off. I don't know what his thinking is. Can you see? Did he have long hair? And he always refers to him as he. Every time the judge calls him by his name or says he or something, I do not consent to be called that. Ugh. See, Rhiannon Drake knows what I'm talking about. I love funeral potatoes. I put French's onions on top instead of cornflakes. They're not funeral cornflakes unless it has a layer of shredded cheese and cornflakes on top. Do you bury the potato with the casket? Funeral potatoes are sort of like a creamy scalloped potatoes. You cut the potatoes really thin and you kind of mix them in with like some cream or half and half, some condensed milk or evaporated milk. Not condensed would be too sugary. And you like layer the potatoes, sprinkle a whole bunch of shredded cheese on top, and then like crushed cornflakes all over the top. That's your good old Mormon funeral potatoes. Funeral potato are why we know the Mormons are the chosen people. Let's talk about prepping nose. And I know he knows. Absolutely. See, we got some funeral taters. Question: is the strike off audio affecting the state's case? I don't think so. I don't even mean by the strike off audio. I mean, I don't think the audio is hurting the case at all. I don't know what the problem with the audio would be. Vicky T, you know as well. I haven't had this since I was a kid. Oh, funeral potatoes use hash browns. Oh God, my mother would never use hash browns. My mother always insisted on regular potato, cream of mushroom. That's what it was. It was cream of mushroom soup. That was always the base for the funeral potatoes. That's right. Oh my God, yeah. Cream, like a can or two of cream of mushroom soup. That would be the creamy base for the potatoes. As a convert, Funeral potatoes are an abomination. This is what we talk about. This is how interesting this case is. We talk about funeral potatoes for 15 minutes while we're waiting for everybody to come back. All right, we're on standby here now. The clock is now no longer there, and the fringed maritime sovereign citizen flag is there in the background. Potato chips would seem like they would get too soggy. I don't know. Someone was it you, Swan, like that was mentioning the other day, putting chips on there, because it seems like it would get soggy. But anyway, what happens if you're served funeral potatoes at dinner? You have a really delicious dinner. The cornflakes grounds. No, they're crushed, just not grounds. Yeah, funeral potatoes are actually scalloped potatoes. They've just kind of been warmed a little bit. Oh, the judge did sustain objections without stated grounds last week. I believe she said the grounds were obvious to her. That might be the cause of your hell. So he's demanding that because I didn't watch Fridays. I haven't watched Fridays yet. That's what I was supposed to be doing instead of streaming this, was watching last Fridays, because I thought I had a day to catch up. That is why I say a gun is like a car, just metal pieces until a butthead wants to use it for butthead things. Right. Thank you so much for that, Flax. Thank you so much for that, Flux. Good to see you here, as always. Dang. Got to catch up here before we get back. Greg Hansen, and I believe that the Garden of Eden was in Jackson County, Missouri. I'm a Mormon, and Mormon just believes. There you go. The sad thing is, if he accepted responsibility and claimed negligence, he might be able to cast a reasonable doubt on the more serious homicide charges. Negligence may get you one or two bodies, but to go drive down an entire street, swerving left to right, that sort of doesn't sound like an accident anymore. I mean, maybe if he would have just like hit the first person that he saw and called it a day, maybe. But not in this. I don't think it would go in this situation. Good morning. Vices keeps me going as I get ready for work in LA. Sorry if this is a dumb question. Will Brooks take the stand? Oh, I think he will. And see, that's the question. How will he question himself? Sometimes I've heard them give their just give the testimony that they would give. Sometimes I've actually seen them where people representing themselves will literally ask the question and then answer it as themselves. Loknav Livak, in Romania / Christian Orthodoxy, we have kalava for funerals, boiled wheat grains with sugar. Sounds weird, but is delicious. Kind of sounds like rice pudding here. Rice pudding is good. What do you do for Thanksgiving in Korea? Thanksgiving in Korea, there's my friend owns the best steak restaurant I've ever been at on planet Earth, and he always does Thanksgiving dinners. So yeah, I'll be doing a U.S. Thanksgiving dinner over at Piggy Bistro, which is the place to go for really, really damn good steak if you're in the area. In fact, Legal Mindset and I will be having steak at Piggy Bistro this Saturday. And getting really, really liquored up. Baldo Gagger, y'all a strange bunch over there. They don't have Mormon potatoes here in Korea. It's just back there. It's back at home base in Utah, back at the mothership. American Dreamer, hell yes, I live in Eden. We have someone from Jackson County, Missouri. Obi-Wan Kenobi once says, "This is not the Darrell you're looking for. Everything is in order. This is not the Darrell you're looking for. Move along." Legal Vices. Funeral potatoes are at least a safer bet than whatever abomination of pasta salad that someone always brings to the potluck linger-longers that end up with someone getting food poisoning. That's because they put Miracle Whip in it and not mayonnaise. Yeah. Miracle Whip in pasta salad. It happens. Yeah, I didn't. Rob Dorsey, I didn't say it was a good defense. Well, exactly. That's why when everybody asked me what defense I would go to, I would just try to go for some type of insanity deal. I don't know if they have a guilty but insane plea in Wisconsin, but I mean, it doesn't have to be good. You can make it. I don't think he has a good defense. Oh God. Let's catch up here and backtrack. Oh, you're funny as hell, Legal Devices. Well, that's very, very kind of you to say, because I've got the got a couple of emails and then comments. You're no Nick Rekieta. Well, I'm not trying to be Nick Rekieta. I'm the vice president. I'm the acting president. I just wander around the rose garden sniffing girls and hoping they never actually make me president. Yep, he withdrew the insanity plea. He also got rid of his lawyers. I just heard him say Jackson County, Missouri. That's my neighbor. So hello to whomever that was. Oh. What are funeral potatoes? Are they like potatoes that someone brings to? Yes, that's why they're called funeral potatoes. Because invariably, if someone dies, I mean, that's one very good thing about the Mormon community. They're very much like, you know, the community. Somebody dies and everybody in the neighborhood will bring food to them for just days and days and days after the death and after the funeral, to the point where you have to literally tell people to stop bringing things. And invariably 80 people will bring potatoes over.
Appearances are as they were
We are
before.
back.
State may call its next. Well,
Well,
actually, we'll bring the jury in, and then you may call its next witness. Seem to like to want to do that these days. All right.
Oh,
have the jury
stand
brought
up,
back
Judge.
please.
Judge Mommy's standing up.
I'll state very briefly for the record, Your Honor, that we still have yet to address the subject matter jurisdiction. Will that be addressed at some point?
Mr. Brooks, that's a frivolous matter. We've already addressed that. I direct your attention to the Beneby decision, United States versus Beneby, found at 654 F 3rd 753. So I have addressed it.
Jurisdiction. In a surprise twist, the state of Wisconsin appears to testify in person. That'd be fucking hilarious. Yeah, he keeps bringing up this jurisdiction shit. It ain't gonna get nowhere.
Is that a judicial determination, Your Honor? That you want to address the subject matter jurisdiction?
The record stands, Mr. Brooks.
Would a verified statement of particulars by affidavit be addressed, Your Honor?
All rise.
All right, apparently not. Everybody's rising for the jury. Is the orange suit in the wash? Why does he keep asking about judicial determination of the jurisdiction? Because he's a fucking idiot. That's why. Oh yeah, okay. I'll make it full screen. I was waiting. I'm still gonna do me by the side here.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. Attorney Upper, the statement called its next witness.
Thank you. The state will call Officer Schneider.
Officer, if you would please make your way to the witness stand. When you get there, please remain standing. Raise your right hand, and my clerk,
When will you have
please
uncivil
illustrate
law and
you
again
in.
to read Dirty Mormon porn by Daybell? Oh, that was so fucking funny. Oh, that was hilarious. I'm trying to get my hands on a copy of it.
About to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you. Please have a seat. For First thing I will ask you to do is to state your first and last names for the record and then spell each.
Okay. My name is Sonia Schneider. Sonia is Sonia.
Dang, Wisconsin's got some smoking hot cops.
Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
Thank you. Officer Schneider,
Oh, we
how
need-
are you currently employed?
I'm employed with the City of Waukesha Police Department.
How long have you worked in law enforcement?
A little over 3 years now.
And were you working on the date of November 20, 2021? I'm sorry, November 21.
Officer Mommy
2021.
needs to handcuff
was.
me.
What were your duties that day?
My duties were to secure the parade route and then provide traffic and pedestrian control.
Were you assigned to a specific location?
Yes, I was.
Hey, Midwest
to the
hot is hot.
intersection of East Main Street and Northeast Avenue.
And was that your post throughout the entire event?
It was.
Do you remember about what time you arrived at that location?
We are at
I
26,600
believe it was
subscribers
around 2 p.m.
exactly.
Okay. And when you
Thank
got
you.
there, what were your responsibilities? Or what did you do?
We closed down
At
traffic.
this point,
from
White people are
Buckley
exotic to me. If you're not, or
northeast
if you're not Asian
and
looking,
put up
you're
barricades.
exotic.
Okay.
And she's a good
And were you dressed
corn-fed
in police
Midwestern
uniform
girl.
that day?
I was dressed as I am right now.
Sturdy.
And did you also have on a fluorescent vest?
I did.
Okay. And that lettering on that vest read police?
Yes.
That is funnier than you know, people. Yes, it is.
At some point during the parade, was your attention drawn to a vehicle described as a red SUV?
It was.
How was your attention drawn to that vehicle?
Well, initially, we heard a call come out in the area of Frame Park about a potential man-knife fight. And
I think she's
then
pretty
shortly
hot. Sorry.
after, I heard radio traffic about a vehicle going through the barricades or past the barricades.
What action, if any, did you take?
Ugh, what?
I was standing next to Officer Butrin. He began to move forward and.
I should have had this locked
as
and
I
loaded.
Observed the red SUV coming towards Officer Butrin and not stopping. I ran forward to also try to intercept the vehicle.
What did you do?
I positioned myself right in front of the SUV for about a moment and tried to direct the vehicle off to Buckley, which would be to the right of the roadway.
Well, good. More smashing for me.
Okay. And you said you positioned yourself right in front of the vehicle, is that right?
Yes.
So, did you go out into the roadway itself?
I stood directly in the path of the SUV.
I don't
That was
care
the
how many
entire
people I was
right,
taking out with an SUV.
right
I'd
lane
stop
or
for
north
her.
side of the street.
Okay. And did you say anything or gesture in any fashion to the vehicle?
Even Officer
I
Bigfoot back
was
there is paying
Just
attention.
gesturing with my hands to try to get the driver to observe me in the street.
All right. Do you remember saying anything?
Sorry, just
Yes.
for the record, the witness has put both of her hands
the shadow
up,
from her
palms
cheeks.
facing out about waist,
No alcohol tonight.
waist high and chest high in a stop motion. Go ahead.
Do you remember saying anything?
I don't recall saying anything.
Now, you said your intention was to try and direct the vehicle off onto Buckley Street.
It was.
Was that a possibility from where the vehicle was located when you first saw it?
It was. The vehicle had time to slow down and make that turn.
Okay.
She's still a
And,
woman. No, just kidding.
You said you were facing the vehicle head on, correct?
I was, I believe, if not exactly head on, at least,
Stop
to the
saying
side
head.
where most of the front.
Oh,
of my
don't do
body would
that.
Be facing it
Okay. So you could see it coming, in other words.
very clearly.
And you could see, because you were able to face the vehicle head on, you were able to see that at some point you needed to step out of the way so you yourself are not struck. Is that fair to say?
Objection. Leading the witness.
Sustained, please rephrase.
As you stood
He
in the
got
middle
one.
of the road facing the vehicle, did you stay in that position?
I did not. I was very concerned the car was going to hit me.
So what did you do?
I jumped out of the way.
Did you make any efforts to interact with the vehicle in any way?
I believe that I had like hit out at the car.
Okay. Were you able to see the driver of the car?
I was.
What did you observe about the driver of the car?
It looked to be an African-American male with brown eyes, and brown hair.
Yeah, you have
Did
brown
the
eyes and brown
driver
hair,
of the
dude.
SUV react to your presence in any way?
When I observed the driver, he had no expression on his face and he was looking straight ahead as if he was looking straight through me.
And that never changed?
No,
Did the driver of the SUV follow your direction and leave the parade route at Buckley?
no, he did not. As a matter of fact, he appeared to speed up.
Are you able to estimate speeds at this location?
Objection, hearsay.
What? Now he's
I
just
would
throwing
estimate
out
the
random
speed to be
objections.
Anywhere from 30 to 40 miles per hour.
Were you able to see how many people were inside the SUV as it went by you?
I couldn't see the back seat clearly, but I observed only one person in the front of the vehicle.
Okay. And that was the driver, correct?
Correct,
That you just described for us earlier.
correct.
Okay. I'm going to show you an item that's been marked and received as Exhibit 17. And we'll put it up on the screen in front of you first so you can take a look at it, see if you recognize it.
Oh, I disagree. Officer's hotter than the judge.
So for the record, we played about the first 5 seconds or 6 seconds of the video. Do you recognize this video, Officer Schneider?
I do.
Do you see yourself in this video?
Yes,
And do you believe this is a true and accurate representation of your actions on that day?
yes.
Permission to publish 17, Your Honor?
Objection, blah, blah, blah. Oh, he didn't object.
So if you could please point out for the jury your location in Exhibit 17, you can circle on the screen.
You are
if want.
correct, Peter.
This is me.
And
You are
next
also
to-
correct.
That's
To your
Officer,
right?
that's Officer Butrin. to my
Okay.
right.
At this point, what are you and Officer Butrin doing?
We were, again, providing that traffic
Yes,
and pedestrian control for the intersection.
it is
Okay.
fair to say.
All right, we're going to go ahead and play this clip. It's 37 seconds long, and we'll just play it through, and then we can stop and ask questions if we need to, okay?
And you also say in some places it's got even more evidence behind it. So let me ask you this. Who needs car? And what is it good for? Well, first of all, let's take it away. A coenzyme is any substance in the body that's... There's a car going westbound. Which a chemical reaction. The brake goes on. A red respect. On its gauge, last meal, I couldn't stop it. It's going westbound. The board is on. Keyword, the energy that supplies your brain, your heart, your liver, your kidney.
Officer Schneider, is that consistent with your recollection of the events?
It is.
I saw in Exhibit 17 at one point you appeared to leave your post on the south side of the road and run into the road. Is that what happened?
Correct.
And the vehicle went past you then?
It did.
Wow.
The excuse me, at that point, Officer Schneider, did you hear the vehicle honking its horn at all?
I never heard any honking.
Never at any point.
Never at any point.
Okay. I'd also like to show exhibit number 18. So same thing, we're going to preview it for you first before we show it for the jury, okay?
Okay, while they're previewing it, we'll clear a couple things here. Jay Lama, thank you so much. Nick on
For the
InfoWars,
record, we
money to
showed
noon
about
central
the
today.
First 2 or 3 seconds of that.
Also,
clip.
$20 says the
Officer
lady
Schneider,
is a lesbian. Sorry, legal
Exhibit
advisors.
18, a true and accurate representation of your actions
Yeah,
involving the red SUV on 11/21 of 21.
Jeff
It
loves
is.
lesbians. Yes, he does.
Move to admit and permission to publish 18.
More fun.
Position, Mr. Brooks.
Objection. What's the relevancy of the video?
The objection is noted, it's overruled, and Exhibit 18 is received. Permission to publish is granted.
Just one second. I want to see the counter in the corner. Can you close that notice?
Okay, Roy Duca, thank
So
you.
for the
Just
record,
got
this
on
clip is
because
11
Brooks found the
seconds in
elusive
length.
plaintiff state of Wisconsin. Not yet.
Officer
He's still
Schneider,
looking for
can
the
you see
state.
yourself in this video at this point?
Yes.
Can you please circle yourself so the jury knows what to watch for?
I'll circle her.
Oh, right over there.
Okay. And please clear the screen. All right, we're going to play this video in its entirety now.
Oh my God!
Okay. That's not me. That's them. Still. Still live there.
There was
Okay.
what I would call
No.
screaming on the radio.
Police radio.
Correct.
Okay. And you didn't see the SUV actually strike anybody, correct?
I did not see that.
When you heard the screaming and heard of the report of problems to your west, what did you do?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
Initially, I was just trying to, I didn't know if there was going to be another vehicle coming because we didn't know what was going on. So I was trying to get people out of the roadway. And as soon as I heard the screaming on the radio, I began making my way downtown.
Did you encounter any people with injuries?
I did. I was stopped by numerous people who said that their children had potentially been nicked.
Probably.
The worst one was a adolescent female that was laying in the road with her family around her.
Do you know the first name of that adolescent female?
Jessalyn.
Irrelevant.
Oh, fuck off.
I'm sorry, your answer may have been blocked by Mr. Brooks' objection, so please repeat it.
Objection. I do not consent to that name, nor am I that person.
Noted. You may answer.
Jessalyn.
Do you know which group or unit in the parade she was with?
She was in a dance squad.
Okay. Did you attempt to render aid to Jessalyn?
I did.
Were her injuries significant?
They were.
At some point, did you go further westbound on Main Street and try and tend to more individuals?
I walked towards the direction of Mountaintop Coffee, and I was directed to stand guard over one of the deceased.
Do you know the name of that person?
I believed it was Virginia, but I
More viewers
learned
than
later
Fox.
that
Cool.
she was misidentified.
Okay. Who was it that you were standing guard over?
Objection, hearsay.
Oh,
Overruled.
fucking hell.
I never inquired the true name of the individual that I ended up being by.
Could you tell which group or unit in the parade that deceased person was associated with?
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
She was one of the dancing grannies.
And what would be the purpose in having you stand by with a person who had suffered fatal injuries?
To preserve the scene and relieve a community service officer who was standing there initially.
This is a sovereign citizen thing. He says he's not that person because the government
Thank
gave
you,
him the
Officer Schneider. I don't
name,
have any
et cetera, et
questions
cetera.
beyond that.
Thank you. Any cross, Mr. Brooks?
Yes. Officer Schneider. It would be fair to say from the video footage that was shown that you were standing directly next to Officer Butrin. Is that correct?
That is correct.
For any reason, would you have, being that you were so close next to him, not heard the same things that he heard?
Objection, I think that calls for
Grounds.
speculation.
Grounds.
Calls for
damn it.
speculation. It's sustained. Next question.
How long before you saw the approaching vehicle?
I heard radio traffic about it going past the barricades, and I would say it was a couple seconds later that we saw it coming down the street.
Did you observe anyone being struck at that time?
I did not.
Did you observe anyone being struck after the vehicle passed you?
I did not.
Yeah. So how do you know the vehicle was the cause of?
Would it be fair to say from the video footage that was shown that the vehicle passed you in maybe a second, if that?
A second to 2 seconds. Yes.
Do you think that would be enough time to get a clear description of who was driving the vehicle?
Yes, I do.
And why do you believe that?
Because I saw the driver very clearly.
You saw the driver very clearly in 1 second.
Yes, sir.
And do you recall if the driver had hair?
I do.
Do you recall if the driver was wearing a hat?
I don't recall that.
Do you recall anything that the driver may have been wearing?
No, I don't.
Do you recall seeing anyone in the back seat?
I couldn't see the back seat from my position.
Why could you not see the back seat?
Because I wasn't in a good position.
Because there's front seats in the way.
Front
Were
seat's in the
there
way.
any tinting to the vehicle that you saw?
Not that I saw.
So you saw no tinted windows at all on the vehicle?
I do not recall seeing tinted windows.
Would it be fair to say from the video that there was
It's
a
ma'am.
barricade set up at the cross street of Buckley?
Yes.
Would it be also fair to say that you couldn't turn down Buckley Street because of the barricade?
The street was barricaded.
Could you make a turn down the street that was barricaded?
You could make a turn, but it was barricaded.
How can you make a turn on a barricaded street? How would you be able to do that?
If a vehicle were to slow down, the barricade could be moved.
So a vehicle would actually have to stop and then make the turn.
That's correct.
Were there any law enforcement officers posted at the barricade?
On that side of the street near Buckley, we had a reserve officer, I believe.
Do you recall if any one of those officers or officer attempted to stop the vehicle?
I couldn't tell you about that.
Was there any report of the officer that was standing at that barricade to stop the vehicle?
Again, I couldn't tell you about that.
So to the best of your knowledge, only you and Officer Butrin attempted to stop the vehicle?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
And there were other officers present?
The other individual who was present is not a sworn patrol officer.
Were they law enforcement?
No, they're considered a reserve officer.
Were they wearing any gear that may have identified them as an
Irrelevant.
I don't recall what that officer or that reserve officer was wearing.
officer? Can we show exit 17 again? Or exhibit, sorry. Excuse me.
Exit 17.
You want it published or just shown to the witness?
I want it shown to the witness.
Permission granted.
Actually, can we show it to the whole court?
Permission granted, it's been received.
Well, before you play it, can you pause it? Before you play it, would it be fair to say that
No.
at that intersection that has the red light facing towards the camera, that there is in fact someone who appears to be law enforcement standing right there?
Objection vague.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Can you,
Rephrase.
would it be fair to say that someone standing at that intersection that appears to be wearing the same police vest attire that you are wearing?
Objection vague. I think-
Grounds.
Your Honor, Mr. Brooks can use the touch screen on his monitor as well, correct?
Correct. I'm gonna overrule the objection. I think what he was asking is clear enough, so he may answer.
There is an individual on the Buckley side of the intersection wearing a high-res traffic vest.
Is it similar in any way to the vest that you are wearing?
It appears to be so, yes.
So what?
So would it be fair to say that the appearance of them wearing the same attire as you, that they would be easily identified as law enforcement?
So what? They weren't impersonating an officer.
I would go so far as to say that they would be at least highly visible to people. Yes.
Would someone who's not in the law enforcement field possibly for any reason mistake them as law enforcement?
Irrelevant. Why is this relevant?
Can you play it just for just a couple of seconds so we can get a clear look at the individual that I'm referring to?
Exactly how many seconds, Mr. Brooks?
I don't consent to being called that name.
Oh, for
but
fuck's sake, shut up. 2
maybe
seconds.
2 or 3 seconds.
Then pause at the 3-second mark, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Can you go back a second?
Oh,
Judge, it's not possible to jump back in 1 second increments.
Go
We
back
need
to the beginning, please.
Right there.
Ask your question.
the fuck is that?
Do you know that individual right there?
I don't recall who that was, no.
Did you see them at any time attempt to stop the vehicle or redirect the vehicle?
I did not observe that myself, no.
You can take the exhibit down.
You're done with this exhibit?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. We can take it down then.
Can you put up exhibit 18 for the court?
You just want this presented, not played at this moment? Just confirming with you.
I'm probably gonna play it too
I'm probably. Are you
Get it
going
up
to or
first.
not?
for the entire court.
For the record, exhibit 18 is on the screens. Do you want it played, Mr. Brooks? Do you have a question at this
Yeah,
point?
I want it played, Your Honor, if I may.
The whole thing?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, permission granted.
Oh God, how long will this be?
Pause it right there. Would it be fair to say that that was just a horn that was heard?
No, I don't hear a horn.
You don't hear a horn.
I do not hear a horn.
Can we start that from the beginning?
Okay, we get to hear that again.
For the record, Mr. Brooks.
When did you have
Objection. I do not consent to being called that
by
name,
that
Your
fucking
Honor,
fuck you.
nor do I identify by that name.
The defendant has asked the video to be stopped. It was stopped at 4 seconds in. He's requested that it be replayed. Are you going to have the whole thing replayed, or do you want it stopped again at 4 seconds?
Maybe around that same point.
I'll wait till you say stop then.
Okay.
We'll make a record of it. Go ahead.
Pause it. Would it be fair to say that that was not just a horn
What?
that was heard on this video?
No.
I will stick with my original answer on that.
Yeah, me too.
So your original answer would be that you did not just hear a horn
Asked and answered.
on this video that was being played.
That's correct.
Asked and answered.
And for the record, it was stopped at 6 seconds.
So would it be any reason that anyone else would have heard a horn?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Grounds.
Sustained calls for speculation on the part of this witness.
Officer Hottie is getting pissed.
Did you at any time get a chance to read the report by Officer Butrin, who was standing right next to you during this event?
I did not read his report.
Did you have any conversation with him about what he may have observed or heard that evening?
Can you clarify what you mean?
Did you have any conversation with Officer Butrin about what he may have observed or heard on that evening?
I believe that the evening that later after everything had calmed down, we had talked for a little bit.
Did he state to you that he had heard a horn beeping at any time during your conversation?
Objection, hearsay, move to strike the
Grounds.
question.
Grounds.
Oh. Sustained. Calls for hearsay.
Do you recall what the conversation was about when you talked that evening?
I can't recall specifics, no.
Did you in any way talk about what had happened that evening at the parade?
Yeah, it would be about the parade, but I can't, again, tell you specifics of what we talked about.
You don't recall?
I've already answered that.
Good for you, officer.
But you're sure that you had some talks about what you may have seen?
Objection, repetitive.
Grounds.
Repetitive,
Sustained.
cumulative, ask and answer, whatever.
Just so we're clear for the record,
Stop saying stop saying
from
everything.
your recollection, would it be fair to say that Officer Butrin saw the approaching vehicle before you did?
Objection,
Grounds.
speculation.
Grounds.
Sustained. It calls for speculation on the part of this witness. Next question.
At what point did you see the vehicle? Once it was past Officer Butrin or before it had passed him?
I saw the vehicle coming from the.
What does grounds
White
mean?
Rock,
When you make an objection,
location, so it was.
you have to
before
state
the
your
vehicle had
grounds
even
for
approached
appeal.
Officer Butrin's location.
the judge said
Any
something
reason why
that makes him think he
you
has to
didn't
say grounds
move
every
to
time the
attempt to stop the
prosecution
vehicle when Officer
makes an
Butrin
objection. It's annoying the
Yes,
shit out of me.
we oftentimes in our line of work have people, meaning no ill will, just disregard police barricades and other things. So initially, I didn't know if the vehicle was being driven by somebody that was just simply distracted or lost or senile. I had no idea.
So it would be fair to say that at the time you had no idea what was going on with the vehicle and why it was there.
At the time, what I knew was that someone had radioed that a car had disregarded our barricades to keep the parade route closed off.
And you heard this on the radio, correct?
On police radio, yes.
So did you hear a car or did you hear an SUV?
I don't recall the exact words that were used. It was a vehicle.
Would it be fair to say that you just said that you heard
I
a
won't make it
car
just because I'll have to
over the
sleep when
radio?
lunchtime comes.
I don't recall the exact words.
Would it be fair to say that it is extremely hard
That's personal.
to compare a car with an SUV?
Objection, argumentative.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Shut up! God damn it! Say grounds one more time.
Would you ever mistake a car in an SUV?
Objection,
Grounds.
argumentative.
Overruled. She may answer.
Trying my patience.
I think I'm pretty good at knowing the difference.
There you go.
So when you heard
Permission
the
to
radio
approach
call,
and tase him, Your Honor.
were you expecting a car or an SUV?
What?
I was expecting a vehicle, red in color, to be coming my direction.
Would it be fair to say that you, before, didn't state the color of the vehicle that you were expecting?
I think the question is vague, Your Honor, as
Objection,
to
grounds.
when she may or may
Grounds.
not.
Mr. Brooks, hold on, let her state the objection.
Question's vague as to when she may or may not have indicated the color of the car, Your Honor.
Grounds.
Kinda. Seems like
I'll
that. He's
sustain
gonna go for the
objection.
carry defense.
Please rephrase. It's sustained as to the form of the question.
At any time during the radio report, was there
Yep.
any report of the color of the vehicle, as you say, in the report that you heard over the radio?
The exact color of the vehicle over the radio, I do not recall hearing. I know that I saw a red SUV coming from White Rock.
Would it be fair to say that you heard the radio call before you saw the vehicle?
Absolutely, I heard it before I saw it.
So would it be fair to say that you couldn't have known what the color of the vehicle would be and what vehicle was being referred to?
There was only one vehicle on the parade route, from what I saw.
Was
Seriously,
there any,
move this along,
radio
dude.
reports that the vehicle has struck anyone at that time that you heard?
No, I didn't hear anyone say that the vehicle had struck anyone.
Was there any reports at that time over the radio that you heard of a description of who may have been driving the vehicle?
No, I don't recall a description coming out over the radio prior to me seeing the vehicle come across my path.
So would it be fair to say that the radio report was pretty vague?
Objection argumentative.
Grounds.
How vague can it
Sustained.
be? There's a car coming up the road smashing people. How vague is that? There's only gonna be one car that's coming up the road like that.
Were there
Car,
any
SUV,
reports
whatever
that
the
you
hell you
know
want to
of,
call it.
whether by radio or from people who were present in your area that you were, that they may have heard honking from the vehicle that approached?
Objection, speculation.
Grounds.
Overruled.
Oh,
The way it was
overruled.
phrased, he asked if she had any information, so she may answer.
I don't have any information about honking.
Yeah, there's people there. There's people in the gallery. The
Can
families.
you recall about what time you saw the approaching vehicle?
I don't know the exact time, no.
Were you injured in any way by the vehicle?
I was not injured.
So it'd be fair to say that you haven't filed a claim in this matter, correct?
Objection, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Overruled. She may answer.
I have not filed a claim for this.
So it would be also fair to state that you are not an injured party in this matter, correct?
Here comes
Objection asked
the
and
answered.
state again.
Sustained.
Could you state for the record who subpoenaed you to testify in this matter?
There's
today?
nothing procedurally wrong with what he's
The
doing.
state?
He has the right to do this.
And when you say the state, who are you referring to exactly?
The state of Wisconsin?
Have
To
you
the
met
best
the
of your
state of
knowledge.
Wisconsin?
Being in law enforcement for some time, have you ever had any interaction with the state whatsoever?
Objection,
Grounds.
irrelevant, vague.
Grounds.
Sustained. Excellent.
Objection, dumb shit.
Did you physically talk to the state about testifying here this morning?
Objection,
Grounds.
vague and irrelevant.
Grounds.
Do you mean to ask her if she spoke with the DA's office?
Did she speak to the plaintiff?
Sustained. Next question.
How long have you known the plaintiff in this matter?
Objection, irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained. Next question.
Nick just mentioned that the Alex Jones
Have you
show
read
moved
the
up to noon
complaint in this
central.
matter?
So Nick will be on Alex Jones here at
To your recollection?
in like 40 minutes from now. So anybody wants to watch that, they'll be on Alex Jones InfoWars.
I believe I've skimmed it over. I haven't read it in its entirety.
Would it be any reason why you didn't read the complaint in its entirety?
Objection irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Did you have any idea that you may be
Dude,
called
stop
to testify
asking
in this
questions. I
matter?
want to catch up on super chats.
I did see it as a possibility, yes.
So it'd be fair to say that if you knew that it was a possibility that you may be called to testify, would it be fair to say that it would be best to acquire all the knowledge that you can acquire before testifying?
Objection argumentative.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Oh, we need to have a ground counter. That's right. We need a ground counter. There's no way in hell I'm going back to watch for all the grounds that have been grounds already.
Are you
Yes, this
aware that
moron
all
is
police departments are
representing
funded by the
himself.
state of Wisconsin?
Objection irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
If you weren't testifying here this morning, would you be on duty?
Here comes the uniform questions.
Yes, I would be.
Is that why you came in uniform?
Yes, it is.
So it'd be fair to say that right now you're on the clock,
Yes, she's a salaried
Yes, I am.
employee. It doesn't matter whether she's testifying
being
in
paid by
court.
whom?
Oh dear.
By the city of Waukesha.
Is the city of Waukesha in the state of Wisconsin?
Yes, it is.
She's getting pissed again. She's like, you
And-
fucking idiot. Go ahead. Yeah.
Who funds the Waukesha Police Department?
Objection irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
During your attempt to stop the vehicle, do you recall the vehicle trying to strike anyone?
No, the vehicle didn't try to strike anyone. You did,
I
you
did not
shitbag.
see the vehicle deviating in any way. No.
Do you recall it trying to strike anyone?
I think it's asked and answered, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Good.
By you saying that you didn't see the vehicle deviate, can you clarify for the record what that means in your opinion?
When I saw the vehicle coming towards my direction, it was driving in a straight line.
So would it be fair to say that that does not clarify what you mean by deviate?
Objection.
It's argumentative. Sustained.
To the best, as far as you recall,
Yeah.
you didn't see or hear that the vehicle has struck anyone.
InfoWars.
That'd be fair to say?
Infowars.com, I guess. I don't know what
Right.
services they're on.
Sustained.
They're certainly not on YouTube anymore, but yeah, just search for InfoWars and go wherever that is. That'll get you to Pope.
Do you know of any cross streets before you attempted to stop the vehicle that may have been barricaded?
I'm gonna stop at lunch because I got to do stuff and I
We
got to sleep.
had, barricades.
I wasn't even expecting
up
to
in
be
the area
doing this
of
today.
White Rock Avenue. I wasn't up there at any point in time, so I couldn't give you the exact location of every barricade.
But you do know that there were pretty much barricades throughout the parade route. Would that be fair to say?
Yes, we needed to secure it.
Do you know of any
Hey, that's what friends
attempts
do.
to stop the vehicle before it came to the area that you were in?
Well, I personally observed Officer Butrin attempt to stop the vehicle.
Do you know if any
Nick is
attempts
busy
to stop
today.
the
Nick is
vehicle
going to be
before
on Alex
the vehicle
Jones's show
approached
in
your
40
area?
minutes, and he had some things to do this morning. He
Based
hopefully will be
on
doing this
the
again tomorrow,
Radio traffic, I
so I
heard
don't have to.
it sounded like officers had attempted at that time, but I didn't see it, so I couldn't say for certain.
So it'd be fair to say that you don't recall?
This is so repetitive.
Grounds.
Fair to say, Your Honor, it's a
Grounds.
misstatement of her testimony.
Grounds.
Sustain it mischaracterizes the testimony.
His defense so far seems to be that the car did it, not me. I was honking my horn to alert people that I was coming and to try to get them to move out of the way, but they didn't, so it's their fault. That's the best as I can put it together right now. He'll give his opening statements where he'll explain his defense.
So to the best of your
after
knowledge,
the prosecution rests, and they're guessing 5 to
Officer
7 days.
Butrin was the first person that you observed attempting to stop the vehicle,
That's correct.
and then yourself,
That is correct.
with no injuries.
Can you clarify, please?
You, Officer Butrin, or you were not injured in your attempt to stop the vehicle.
I believe that's correct.
You believe that was
I
correct?
got news for you. You
I
like
don't
lesbian
recall
cop. That
Butrin
means you're gay.
complaining of any injuries, so I couldn't say for certain.
Were you yourself injured?
I have already answered that.
I have relationships with lesbians, but I have sex with women. Didn't this defense just fail with the trucker case where he refused to pull off onto the emergency stuff? This defenses like this never work. Like sovereign citizens representing themselves. This is the worst. Oh God. All right, we're getting so far behind on these things because he won't shut the hell up. And I mean, even bailiff guy
stated
back
that
here is like,
you,
one more question, asshole. Ask one more
Skim
question.
through the complaint for this matter. Would
She
that be fair to
doesn't have
say?
to read the complaint.
Objection asked and answered. We need to move on to a new topic, Your Honor.
We just need to move on to a new witness.
Sustained has been asked and answered. Need a new topic,
What-
Mr. Brooks, under 90611. I'm directing you to move on.
I'm just trying to find out what would be the reason not to read the whole complaint. That's all.
Doesn't fucking matter. She didn't want to. How's that for a reason?
Grounds.
There's no question.
Grounds. It's only 1:30 a.m. here, which is why I'm going to sleep at noon. I assume they're going to take a
Did
break
you
in
hear
about
of
30
any
minutes.
incident at Frank Park?
Grounds.
Objection asked and answered.
I didn't ask this. witness.
Overruled. She may answer.
I did answer that earlier in my testimony.
Oh, Flux knows all about that.
Please.
I heard
She was here.
that there was a man knife call, is how it came out, potentially in Frame Park.
You missed him saying grounds a lot
At any point that
and
evening, did
asking
you
questions
follow
about
up
the
on that
state of
report?
Wisconsin and wearing uniforms.
I did not.
To the best of your knowledge, do you know if, are you aware of any officer following up on that report?
The officers that were dispatched to that call, of which I don't recall who they were, would have been in charge of that.
Did you learn any information about a knife being found?
I have to check to see if he's set up
I did not.
to do it, but yeah. But yeah, and if we heard a horn,
To the best of your knowledge, do you recall any domestic dispute coming over
to the best of
radio?
your knowledge, do you think the bailiff back there is just about ready to stomp you into the dirt?
The evening during the parade, November 21st.
I don't recall specifically the terms domestic being used over the radio in any way. No.
No further questions. Let her
To
go.
the best of your knowledge,
God
do
damn it.
you recall a vehicle being found on Maple Street?
Yes, I do recall.
Did you respond there directly, or do you know if? Well, let me take that back. Did you respond there
No,
directly?
no takesies, backsies.
No, I did not.
Do you recall what that report was saying over the radio?
Objection vague.
Grounds.
Vague.
Sustained as to the form of the question. It's also beyond the scope of the direct exam. Unless you have information she was involved in that. Mr. Brooks, move on.
It's beyond the scope of everything.
And what would you estimate the speed was of the vehicle you attempted to stop?
Objection asked and answered.
Sustained.
I don't recall asking the speed.
I don't give a shit.
This witness has answered about speed multiple times, but if you wanted to say it again, overruled. You may answer.
I said approximately 30 to 40 miles per hour.
To the best of your knowledge,
Oh, he's making me tense.
would there be any reason why an officer standing right next to you would not estimate it at that speed?
Objection argumentative.
Grounds.
It's argumentative and it calls for speculation on the part of this witness, so it's sustained.
Do you know of any officers that was in your vicinity that gave a speed estimate of the vehicle you attempted to stop?
Objection irrelevant.
Grounds.
Sustained.
Oh yes, I was the one that sent it to Drex.
No more further questions.
Oh, thank Christ for that. Fuck me.
Very briefly, Officer Schneider, on cross-examination, you told Mr. Brooks that you saw the driver of the vehicle quite clearly. Do you remember that?
Objection. I do not consent to being called that name, and I would respectfully ask not to be identified with an unknown individual.
Your objection is noted. It's overruled. Go ahead. Maria.
It's stupid and
You
pointless.
see the driver of the red SUV in the courtroom here today, Officer Schneider?
Objection. Hearsay.
I was not driving.
Overruled. She
No.
may answer.
I'd ask Mr. Brooks be directed to remove his mask so that Officer Schneider can identify him, please.
Objection. I never heard an answer to the question.
It has not been answered. Mr. Brooks, please remove your mask.
Oh, please refuse and have bailiff come and remove his mask for him.
Thank you.
Officer Schneider, is the driver of the red SUV that you've just described for this jury present in this courtroom today?
Objection.
Yes.
Hearsay.
Can you please point him out by where he's seated and what he's wearing?
He is seated over here at the table wearing a gray suit.
No,
That's the man you saw driving.
It was already
the red
going to
SUV as it
war.
Sped past
the
you?
Ents were going to war.
Yes.
I sent him that one so that he could see that Kurt actually supported Rick. Nick
Thank you. I don't
very
have any
well.
other questions.
On the issue of identification only, do you have any questions for this witness?
Yes, I do.
Huh.
You did state that you saw the driver of the vehicle and the driver had hair, and you stated brown eyes and brown hair, correct?
That is what I said.
You also stated that you can see somewhat what they was wearing by hat or
That's incorrect. I did not say that.
so you were able to see the driver of the vehicle's entire head.
I was able to see hair, which is what I have said previously.
Would it be fair to say that the alleged defendant that you just identified on the record for the court does not have hair?
You have shaved your head. Yes.
There you go. Good.
Would it be fair to say that you have not seen the alleged defendant shave his head?
Oh, for Christ's sake.
Relevance.
Grounds.
Overruled.
Go
She may answer.
For fuck's sakes.
Presuming in the act of.
The act of.
I have not witnessed him actively shaving his head.
But I'm not a
So would it
fuckwit
be
and I know
fair
it's
to
him.
say that to the best of your knowledge, you do not know, in fact, if the alleged defendant shaved his head?
Oh,
I am looking at the individual who
There you
was
go.
driving the SUV, and
There
he
you
now
go.
has a shaved head.
that was what I asked. I
That
knew it.
doesn't answer the question.
I knew that's where he was going. The first time someone gave him the hair comment, he was going to say, "How do you know that was me?" Oh, don't shake
And
your head, you dick.
stated eye color, correct?
Oh, for fuck's sakes,
Yes.
you or someone else cut it.
Can
Had
you
it
see
cut,
the
cut it.
alleged defendant's eye color from where you are sitting?
I cannot.
No further questions.
How in the world would that be fucking useful for you, you piece of shit?
And this witness be excused, Your Honor?
She may.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're just about ready for the Chewbacca defense
Well, we're going to
now.
take our lunch break now. I have information that the
Huh.
lunch for the jurors will be up in about 10 minutes. So rather than start a witness, just to take a break around that time, we'll take our
She
lunch
likes to stand
now.
up quickly.
It will be at least an hour, maybe an hour and 15
Now, I'm
minutes,
just
but I'd
looking,
ask the parties be back in an hour. And then also advise the jury and Mike and Pete what time I need them back. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'll rise for the jury.
I'll rise for the judge and the officer. Hang on here. I'm sending a text to potentially criminal right now.
All right, thank you. We are in recess. Let's have the parties back at 12:35. We can address any issues outside the presence of the jury if need be. Otherwise, be
All right.
prepared for your next witness from the state. Thank you, everyone.
All right, I've sent him a message. Let's see if he gets it. He's reading his super chats, not me. Oh, see, yeah, see, he just said he would smash the witness too. See, potentially criminal is saying that he would enjoy company of the officer as well. Anyway, here we go. Let's get through these super chats here. Let's see the super chats. Sorry it took so long to get to these things. Took 40 minutes to get to this. I'm so sorry it took this long, but he wouldn't shut up. Is this lawyer describing the witness gestures not acting as a witness without being sworn or cross-examined? Is this lawyer describing the witness's gestures and not? Yeah, we're not really sure exactly what he's doing here but he is representing himself and he's doing a very poor job about it because he's a sovereign citizen asshole. And he's just horrible. Ugh. And we have Imbal T. Thank you so much. Hey, Legal Vices, saw you first at Nick's channel during JDVAH. You, Andrew, and you, Andrews, and Nick were the best panel ever. Epic. Oh, thank you so much. That's awesome. Deeply appreciated. I'm sending another message to him because he's not paying attention to it. All right. Anyway, if he doesn't want me to do it, that's fine. And thank you so much to the Fiery Red podcast. This brings back my EMS PTSD. Yeah, I mean, seriously, I haven't watched all the videos in detail because I don't want to see it. I don't think I need to see it because it sounded just the description is pretty gruesome. Outnumbered Mom, thank you so much for the super chat. So does this nameless pronounless entity want to be a soft sit or want to preserve its constitutional rights? He wants to be a soft sit. He's claiming to be a sovereign citizen. He's said he's a sovereign citizen, but unfortunately, he sucks. I mean, I don't think he's a real soft sit believer. I think he's just using it as a means for dragging this out, for being argumentative, for being disruptive. I don't think he's a true believer of the sovereign citizen bullshittery, which makes him twice as bad in my book. Wheeler 925 Legal Vices. What do you think about what happened Friday, where he objected to evidence that was excluded prior acts being played? Then the judge was going, "Whoops, my bad," later in the day. I didn't see it Friday. I was going to watch it. I was going to watch Fridays today when I didn't know I'd be streaming. But I didn't see that. But at the beginning of the proceedings today, the judge excluded that video and told the jury to disregard the video. And let's see, Kyle Cowden, thank you so much for the record. Is it fair to say you've never seen a pro se strike that pro per defendant not be an idiot? Pro se defendants, some of them are good. Pro per is a designation for a sovereign citizen, and they all suck. They're all idiots. So yeah, sovereign citizen defendants who represent themselves are all complete idiots. No question. Julie O, thank you so much for the super chat. Is it true that you were at a truck stop and it was actually a semi? Yeah. And is it true that you were with Emilio Estevez? Oh, God. And Conservinator, thank you so much. That is deeply, deeply appreciated for the "You're Awesome" sticker. And the "Would it be fair to say" drinking game would annihilate the chat. Yeah, if we did a grounds drinking game, we'd all be comatose, or an objections, we'd be comatose. And finally, for what I've got right here, right now, Ungrounded. Thanks for covering this. Yeah, Ungrounded. Let me scroll up here to see if I've missed any super chats, and then we'll scroll back down if I haven't. Yep. Hang on. There's one we missed. People are going over and telling him to allow me to dump into him, but he's not listening to them. All right. Well, I guess that's it for except for the last super chat here. Jonathan, thank you so much. I believe the Pope's power comes from whiskey. You'll get the hang of it. Oh, I have no problem with the whiskey. I have the whiskey power myself. In fact, during this, Nick was texting me, asking me about whether I've seen this really awesome whiskey he bought. So, yeah, we have the whiskey power. Okay, now he's got the message. All right, he's going to accept it. In the where is it? In the yeah, he's boomering it out big time. In the video editor, dude, you do this. Hang on, let me tell him what to do. In the video editor, I'll email him how to do it. He's like, anybody can raid. Go ahead and raid. Sorry, we're not gonna be able to dump automatically into him. That's his deal. That's his problem, not mine. We're gonna have to do this manually. We'll have to do this manually. So if anybody wants to go there, all right. So, yeah, he's just said he can't figure it out. He doesn't know how to do it. So we'll all just have to go over there manual. If you, wait, God dang, we got some more super chats just pouring in here at the last second. I'll stay here as long as the super chats come in. Sensible advice guy. He's not going to figure it out. The right response to I don't consent to being called by that name is I don't consent to your lack of consent. Exactly. Or just like, what do you want to be called? Nobody's asked him that yet that I'm aware of. Nobody said, well, what do you want us to refer to you as? Dumbass over there in the seat works really well for me. I got no problem with calling him that. We could do a drinking game, taking a shot every time you make sense. Hey, that'd be better. We'd certainly not be nearly as liquored up as we were if we did it every way everyone else is suggesting we do it. Would it be fair to say, without any objections and within grounds to say you need some sleep? Yeah, that would be fair to say, which is why as soon as I get through these, I am bailing. Oh, yikes. I just yeeted my own microphone. There we go. Ooh, now we're hot. Microphone's hot, not me. Next, Kyle Cowden. Thank you so much for what appears to be the last super chat, unless someone else throws one at me between now and the time I hang off. Nick built Legal Bites and Hogue Law. Nick essentially built anyone that has anything to do with LawTube as a community. We all grifted off him like a motherfucker. Oh, dang it. Sorry. I went to flag that and we'll go back to it here. Sean said he should have turned it on. He should have turned it on, but it's not turned on. I'll make one more check to see if he unboomered himself. But hang on here. Got to go back. Sorry about that, Kyle. Nick built Legal Bites and Hogue Law, and everybody else, literally everybody else, owes their LawTube career to him, essentially. They were tiny until he brought them on and bolstered them. Then they act like this. Disgusting. Again, you know, even if they don't like him, you got to stand up for them. I mean, in public, go ahead, say, you should not, first of all, if he's your friend, fucking act like it. That's just full stop. You can tell your friend, just support your friend in public. Like Kurt said the best thing of that little 3-person panel they had. He said, look, I don't know the details, but I know Nick, and I have to believe Nick until someone proves otherwise to me. That's the solid answer if you don't know what's going on. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know the details, but I know who they're talking about, and I know him, and I know the way he is, and I'm going to believe him until you provide me with hard evidence. Otherwise, it's, I don't know what the deal is. He knew he had 2 strikes, and he took the risk, and he gets what he deserves. That's bullshit. You don't say that about someone in your field, or especially a friend. So if they're not friends, you still say, hey, you should not be deleted for speech. Because somebody's going to come for you. It was a snaky thing. Yeah, it was a snaky thing to do. And I'm Hogue, I give less than 2 shits about. I give 0 shits about Hogue. I never been my sort of guy. I just don't like being a milky toast person. I'm kind of saddened by it, Alita. Kind of Legal Bites. I'm kind of disappointed. But that's what people say. I mean, that's their deal. They can say what they want, stand up for their want, but free speech. I guess they have it too. They can choose how they want to act and let the chips fall where they may. Well, all right, folks. Thank you so much for joining me here today for this additional 3-hour and 15-minute stream I didn't know I was going to be doing. It's 2 a.m. here in Korea. I got to be up at 6. I probably have another hour of work to do before I go to sleep. So I really do need to cut this off. Hopefully, right now Nick is on Alex Jones. He'll be there in 10 minutes, starting on InfoWars with Alex Jones. Or you can go over to Potentially Criminal. I'm going to make one more last attempt to see if he's unboomered himself here. Let's see if he is. Go back into my studio and try to see if I'm able to dump into him right now. Content. Gotta go to my live stream. And if this doesn't work, just search for potentially criminal and you will get there. Customization. We're almost there. Redirect, add, search. Nope. We got to do this manually. If you want to go over to watch the rest of the trial with him, go ahead, search for potentially criminal. Nick should be back doing this tomorrow, and if everything goes well, I hope I'll be on with Nick. I hope he'll invite me. We'll just have to wait and see. But I very much hope the next time you see me talking about the Brooks trial will be on Nick's stream tomorrow. Until then, thank you all for the mods who jumped over here on this and stuck with me for another day. Thank you for doing the extra stream. Thank you for everybody that joined, everybody that came over, and we got a huge number of subscribers out of this today. Bless all of you all. Tune in tomorrow. We're going to be doing the Alec Baldwin deal, a couple of the civil lawsuits and his settlement. Wednesday, we'll be doing Taylor Shabusiness, another Wisconsin freak who likes chopping up people and perhaps sampling their flavors. Thursday will be O.J. Simpson reviewing cross-examination of Mark Furman. Friday, Legal Mindset and I will be getting our drink on here in Busan, so there probably won't be a stream on Friday, but we'll just have to see. So, I cannot dump directly into Sean because he hasn't figured out how to allow me to do that yet. You'll have to do it manually. Otherwise, go to InfoWars, check out Nick on Alec Jones. Until tomorrow, guys, until we talk about Alec Baldwin, thank you all so much for being here. Thanks for the support. Hit that like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification button, and we'll all see you here tomorrow for Alec Baldwin. Enjoy your legal vices. I'm out. Bye.